Let me hit the audition button. Welcome into Hand Raise, guys. I'm Neal McCready. If you haven't seen enough of me today, then God help you. Chase Parham's here as well.
You're tired. You only streamed like 9 hours of YouTube
Kind of
today.
mentally fatigued a little, but I'm here. Someone says the music gets them pumped up.
The music?
Someone says the music is too epic. Gives them the feeling of an Orange podcast.
It definitely like builds and kind of gets
it gets you excited.
Yeah, I was telling Neal.
I needed to get excited because
I was telling Neal a second ago. I'm really enjoying. So the way this process works, pull up YouTube and we go to like our little studio page so I can actually see you guys' comments and the analytics and all the stuff. But then I need to go pull up the normal page because it's such a habit to go get the link that I was doing that anyway, even though it's already up and Neal already had everything running. And I stumbled upon Hey Coach, the Nick Saban show was just starting at the same time, and they had 183 Gumpers waiting for Nick to enter the show there at Baumhauer's in Tuscaloosa. And the live stream is just fantastic. I mean, it is everything you want it to be in written form, documented for everybody to see. And then I told Neal a second ago, Eli Gold's being Eli Gold. He's done this a few times by now. He knows what to expect.
Welcome into Hey Coach.
Yeah.
It's Eli Gold with the Nick Saban Show.
And Nick is sitting on the end. He's in a pink polo. And the resignation on his face as he is picking up this headset to put on. I told him he has to be doing nothing but going $9 million, $9 million, $9 million over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because holy hell, that thing.
Yeah, this is the 1 hour a week of his life that he hates himself and he wishes he were back in West Virginia, like pumping gas.
It's the call-in show version of when he had to sit at the table and watch the Gumps run at him.
Yeah,
each spring.
He hates himself right now.
He's good soldiering through it. I mean,
at some point, I'm thinking like at 6:30 every Thursday night, Terry has to call him and say, "Hey Nick,
you know that
you have to go do the show," and he's like, "I'm not doing it this time. I'm not going.
I'm done.
I'm not effing going." And she's like, "You have to go. It'll be a big story if you don't. You have to go. It's in the contract. We get an extra 1.5 for this." And he's like, "You effing do it, Terry."
He's playing along. He's getting it done.
And once he gets there, maybe somebody gives him a little scotch or something.
He has a Dasani in front of him, of course, or whatever it is.
It's vodka. Straight vodka.
They poured the water out. Poured vodka back in. Who else is on with him? There's three of them. It's Eli and him and some bald dude.
They usually have like a media person that comes with them.
Oh, do they really?
Usually. They just go Ohio and Louisiana Lafayette on one screen on TV too. There it is. Kenneth Morgan says, super chat. Kenneth, thank you so much. He says, after going to my first game in about 15 years last week, it was all I could ask for. Thanks for all you guys do, and go to hell Tulane. I'm glad you had fun, Kenneth. That's awesome. Glad you got a chance to go, and that's cool. Let's see. I'm going to tell you guys about all the stuff that's up on the site, on all that stuff. Pay a few bills in the process.
Sure.
Hand Raise, guys, is brought to you by Comer Heating and Air and Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call 662-429-4429. We have a soft verbal up. Zach and I taped a soft verbal. We talked to quarterbacks. We took a few questions, but it was mostly quarterback talk. It was actually pretty good. A lot of recruiting. So if you want your Ole Miss football recruiting fix, that's the place to go get it. It's brought to you by the College Corner. It's your one-stop Rebel Shop. 2 locations in the Jackson area. In Ridgeland, it's next to Fleet Feet. In Flowood, it's next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, it's okay. You can visit the College Corner at collegecornerstore.com. Plus, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Whether you're tailgating in Oxford or home gating with friends and family, the College Corner has you covered for game day, the largest selection of Rebel gear in central Mississippi. The MPW Digital pregame show. All 3 hours and 15 minutes of it is up on our YouTube channel. We would love if you would go to that and watch it. I think Chase is going to put chapter marks in there for you.
It will probably be in the morning, but yes.
Yeah, but it's there. It's really good. We talked to Pete DeWeese, Jeff Conway, the Tulane wide receivers coach,
which we're going to play tonight.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Talked to Ryan Brown of Next Round Live, or the Next Round. Jeffrey Wright of 92.9 FM ESPN, Ben Mintz of Barstool, and Chase talked to Julia Aubry, the director of the Ford Center. So there's a lot of stuff there on that show. Please hit the subscribe button. Cost you nothing. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. We would really, really, really appreciate it. That's brought to you by Walk-Ons. Walk-Ons Sports Bistro puts everything they've got into bringing you game day with a taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys, gumbo, voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Quality, fresh ingredients you can't help but crave. Walk-Ons creates an environment that fosters growth and belonging for all, where the team is bigger than the individual, where they exceed expectations and positively impact every community they serve. Think you have what it takes to bring people together and provide a memorable game day experience? Visit 720 Highland Colony Parkway in Ridgeland to join their team today. Walk-Ons Sports Bistro, more than a restaurant.
One thing I do want to clarify, we told you today the first time about Johnson Hill Creamery and the things they do in the Grove every weekend as far as catering, tailgate things. They will actually deliver to the Grove, so you don't have to go pick it up. They will deliver right to where you are, so a little extra incentive there to potentially use that on your game day, because anything of ease where I don't have to actually go figure it out and get back to my spot would be a huge benefit to trying to enjoy my Saturday as good as possible. So.
We also taped a Mind of My Money today. It's brought to you by Pinnacle. It's mypinnwealth.com, MYPINN wealth.com. They're based in Madison, Mississippi. Provide all sorts of financial services, individual, business, 401k, all of that stuff there. Corporate 401k at Pinnacle, mypinnwealth.com. We also have a Butcher versus the Spin instructor up at rebelgrove.com, up on our YouTube page. That's brought to you by LB's Meat Market, LB's 2008 University Avenue in Oxford. If you're not familiar with LB's, when you come to Oxford, you need to get familiar with it. It's right across from Kroger, but don't go to Kroger. Go to LB's. Phenomenal service, fresh cuts. That's being real.
Yeah, no.
Whether it's beef or pork or chicken, house-made sausages, fresh seafood, all of that. Greg Jones and the people at LB's will take terrific care of you. Tell them that you heard about it on MPW Digital, Rebel Grove. Say Neal sent you, Chase sent you. I don't care. Yeah. Whatever. He's going to throw a little something extra in your basket. You'll really love it. It's fantastic product. And Greg's great to us. The people there are great. You'll love them. 2008 University Avenue in Oxford. Greg and Campbell picked the games. My daughter Campbell, Greg has a 3-game lead on Campbell heading into week number 3, which is a marked departure from what happened a year ago where Greg fell way behind and tried to dig his way out and just kept digging a bigger and bigger and bigger hole.
A little competitive this time.
Yeah, and Campbell ended up winning by 20-some-odd games last year. This year it appears to be a completely different story. So all of that up on our YouTube page. If you are on Instagram, please go to MPW Digital, subscribe, follow, whatever the word is, and we'd appreciate that. My daughter Caroline's running that page. If you go look at it, we went from completely inactive to really active. So if you're on Instagram, please follow that. We'd appreciate it.
One thing we always talk about beef and stuff with Greg. Don't sleep on the stuffed chicken. He does I know the stuffed chicken breast. Just a little.
Just the plain seasoned chicken breast.
Oh really?
Oh, and then
I haven't had that now.
And the other thing, and I hate saying this because I go get them there, and sometimes they're there, and I'm like, yes. His wings are the best wings you'll get anywhere.
To then do what with what are we doing?
Smoke them, air fry them.
Okay. They pre-seasoned?
You can get them pre-seasoned.
Okay.
He has lemon pepper seasoned, and he has the house-made seasoning, which is my favorite.
Is the ribeye still your favorite sausage, or have you moved on to something else?
So I went to chicken jalapeno for a while.
Okay.
And then the last time I had the spicy ribeye, that did it for me. And then I like the Swayze sausage too. It's a pork sausage. It's delicious.
Yeah. I mean, none of them are bad.
No, I mean I'll tell you the other one that's sneaky good is now I like the chicken ones more than I think you do.
You do.
The chicken feta spinach
I've never even tried
is for me fantastic.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah, I would much rather the pork or the beef. But
Yeah, well, I like my problem is I like all of them, but
the answer's yes, actually.
yeah, but those are my favorites. Right now, the spicy ribeyes. If you told me I could only have one, that would be the one that I would get. But I haven't had a bad one yet. I mean, I really haven't. A couple of times I've wanted to have a bad one. No, that's not good. He's got a lamb sausage coming out too. Lafayette hits a big post pattern.
Ohio, I have to give them a lot of credit because it's not like I watch a lot of Bobcats by any means, but to be in that conference and to not go crazy and stick with traditional-looking uniforms home and away always, I give Ohio a lot of credit. They go white, they go green, everything is completely...
That's a clean look.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good look. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. They're one of the few MAC teams that doesn't do something weird as hell every so often.
It has to alarm Billy Napier a little bit tonight that there's nobody there.
Was it really bad?
This shot that I just saw looked pretty empty.
Is it mandatory vaccines?
It's
in Louisiana.
That's a great question. It might be.
Was that just LSU or was that all?
That is a great question, and I should know the answer, and I don't. I can't even imagine Louisiana Tech.
That's where I was going, actually, with that.
If you're going to do mandatory vaccines, they're going to tell you where to mandatorily stick your that's not going to go over well.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, Louisiana, it's so funny they're all under one flag because it is two separate countries about midway up between South Louisiana and North Louisiana.
From Alexandria North.
Is that the cutoff?
Yeah, and Alexandria South are two different worlds.
Yeah, I don't think Billy Napier's got a chance at the Cal job or Southern Cal job. Can't see him coming up there.
It's a lot of Bill O'Brien talk today. A lot of James Franklin talk today.
Both those make sense to me in different ways.
James Franklin has to be pissed. Like, why did you do this 2 weeks in where I've got to say no for 10 weeks on this?
Yeah. Because they do.
Yeah, and people are going to keep asking, and he's going to get irritated, and people are going to continue to ask. All right, Redskins. Washington football team. Screw it. I can call them the Redskins. What's someone going to do? Kill me?
You criticized me last year when I couldn't get that right over and over and over.
Well, they were the Redskins all of my life.
How long is it going to take for us to say Guardians instead of Indians?
All I know is that Game 7 was the Cubs beat the Indians. The Washington football team going with all whites with the burgundy helmet.
Yeah.
It's a good look. You like the all whites at home?
The Saints used to do it some, and they'd go white at home and kind of do some of that. Not really. Nah. I mean, the places that I feel like do really good kind of road uniforms at home, they don't go white on white. I feel like white on white's a road thing.
Giants going with the blue top, white pant. That's a great look.
Is it a white pant?
It's a white pant.
It is a white pant.
Not the gray pant, but the white pant. It's a pretty good uniform game. Louisiana, Lafayette gets a touchdown.
Yeah,
that was easy.
I'm not crazy about the white on white at home. I feel like it works for like LSU because they put a color on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you're doing the home thing, you need a color pant for some reason.
They could go with kind of a mustard pant, and it would look good.
That would be better. They have mustard pants.
Yeah.
They wear those.
Yeah, and Hail to the Redskins is gone now. That was a good song.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I mean, you just change everything. And for what? Who was deeply offended, really, by a football team?
That one's one where they just let the ball get rolling, and nobody was good enough to actually step up and stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like Daniel Snyder just rolled over. And
I kept waiting for someone to go, really, these are first world problems here. It's going to be okay. It's a football game. Have a beer.
Okay, so we do get Peyton and Eli again on Monday night. Yeah, they're advertising right now at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, and I mean, that's a game that I otherwise would never watch, and I'm completely in. Won't miss it.
But on that channel.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Not watching whoever.
I was kind of surprised. It tells me that almost the numbers don't work, that there were only 800,000 homes that watched the Manning cast.
Really?
That was their initial numbers that came back, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Okay, what?
I don't know how that works.
I don't know if that's right or not. I have a hard time believing that's right, but even if it is, it dominated all social media.
Yeah,
so anything media-wise, not even social, but stories the next morning, it dominated the internet for 12 hours. So even if the immersion and the reach was exponential.
Well, the number across the South from now on will be it'll be off the charts.
Birmingham's eating that shit up.
Everybody is. I mean, Birmingham, New Orleans, Memphis. I mean, who doesn't? Because they're both likable guys. I mean, both Eli and Peyton are very likable. And they got great guests. I mean, they had Russell Wilson for an entire quarter and the overtime. And Russell Wilson was fantastic.
So Ole Miss is doing what? Red on white with what helmets? What's the helmet color?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen. I don't even have my phone in here. Isn't that crazy?
Ole Miss football Twitter, powder on red on white.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, powder on red on white is.
What's Tulane going with?
I haven't seen theirs yet. I don't know. I mean, we saw their helmet.
Everybody's raving about the helmet.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, powder on red on white. Tulane.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go find my phone because I know it's going to light up.
Okay. Looking now to see what their Tulane has released a video with the helmet and what appears to be a jersey, but I'm not seeing a pant color for Tulane at this point. It's on their social media. Tulane has not shown us their pant color that I can find. They announced an hour ago they released and announced the helmet that we knew they were wearing. And then they're wearing a white jersey that has the dark green and the powder stripes on the sleeve. But I don't have a pant color for them.
I'm going to bet they go either with a white pant or a green pant.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Probably green.
Probably green.
The way the helmet is structured, I'm going to go with they're wearing their normal kind of darker green shade is what they're so good. Uniform game. Good. No issues.
Ooh, Grind's got a good question here.
What's that?
So he found out that a girl he's dating dips her pizza in either mayo or sour cream. Well, there's a big difference between mayo and sour cream, number one. And unlike Chase, the kind of pizza doesn't matter to her. Is that a red flag? Yes.
For both of them, either option?
Yeah.
Mayonnaise or
especially if it's mayonnaise. She's a psychopath.
You think that's worse than sour cream?
Yeah, because if it's mayonnaise, she's going to kill you in your sleep. If it's sour cream, she's just kind of weird. I'd get rid of her right now. I'd let that go no further.
So, what do you feel like is socially acceptable to dip your pizza in? Ranch.
Marinara.
Even though
Marinara, ranch, that's about it.
Garlic butter.
Garlic butter.
You think that's about it, though?
Yeah.
Was it on the coast they do French dressing?
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah. Yeah, don't question me on this. If you dip your pizza into a thing of mayonnaise, you're a psychopath. Something's wrong, and you're going to kill people.
I mean, that's worse than my weird ketchup thing because at least ketchup's in the marinara family.
Absolutely.
I'm just adding some tomatoes.
Absolutely.
To my. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but there it is.
Stage 5 clinger. She is going to.
She should tell people it's ranch.
She is going to make a key while you're asleep, And you're going to come home from work and she's going to be in your kitchen with a big butcher knife.
She's like the female Brad and Ayuka. I mean,
yeah.
Just be careful.
It's going to end badly. Kickoff in D.C. Whoa! She put mayonnaise on her spaghetti. No, it's get out, get out, get out. While you still can.
Mayonnaise on spaghetti.
That's disgusting. Come on, man.
No, I'm trying to even think about that. I mean, how much are we talking? Not that it matters, but
for
like,
the love of God, what do you mean? There's nothing to even think about.
But like, how much? Seriously, like what? I mean, are we like mixing it in with almost the same amount as?
You're about to turn my stomach.
Is sauce or
my stomach is turning right this moment.
I don't agree with that, but I think I would actually give a little bit of. It's not a 5. But it's not a 0 either. It's somewhere in the middle if you're dipping your wings in sour cream. Like, it's weird, but it's not, I have to alert you to the authorities.
Wings and sour cream?
Yeah, like, it's just okay enough that I'm going to make fun of you, but
the mayonnaise in the spaghetti is such a giveaway that she's going to be insane. He says she's an 8, nice body, kind of clingy. Yeah, kind of clingy? No, champ. She's going to track your every move. I'm just telling you.
Because you think this is a sign of a lot more poor decisions.
No, Chase, I don't think this is a sign. I know this is a sign of a life of misery.
Mayo's worse than sour cream.
Yes, of course.
So, yeah. Spaghetti, though.
Whew. She's already moved in? Oh. Are we just guessing? Yeah, she's probably already moved in. She's already got a key.
Well, she made her own key. She took
yours
while you were sleeping.
No doubt. Catalina and creamy French on the coast. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm okay, I mean, I don't mind Catalina dressing, but it works with salads and it works with taco salad. That weird taco salad that people eat. That's it. You don't put the ketchup thing. I mean, I'm sorry, the pizza thing. Mayo on Sloppy Joe's is good and completely legit.
I would change my key in the morning. I'd go to the Ace Hardware and change my key.
The locks.
Every lock. Put new locks in. Just pay for it. It's worth it. You can't change your locks if you're
What is
dead.
your facial expression the first time you see this, too? Like, you're out at dinner or you're home or whatever. You got spaghetti, and she goes, "Hey, can you pass me the mayonnaise?"
I'd say I've got COVID. I got to go.
For what?
I've got COVID and every other disease. Bye. And I'm out.
And I get we're way over here on the mayonnaise thing. Like, I'm so far over here on the mayonnaise thing that even though I know it is appropriate for multiple reasons, I still get grossed out by putting the mayonnaise on like fish or something to coat or make sure it doesn't stick. Like, I'll use something else. I don't want to put my steak or my fish slathered in mayonnaise before I
No, I don't either. And I know that it works, but still.
Yeah, you guys made fun of me for years, and your true colors are all coming out now. Somebody says you got to try chocolate ice cream and plain Ruffles potato chips.
J.K. Russell says, agree it's gross, but disagree with Neal that she's crazy. That's a woman with no F's to give.
The chips and ice cream makes sense. Yeah, that's a sweet salty combination. Thing. Like
I've told you, if you told me that I had a week left to live, ice cream with melted peanut butter, pretzels, and then chocolate.
Pretzels?
Yeah, crushed pretzels.
Really?
Oh, fantastic.
What do you put on like frozen yogurt? Like, what are your toppings on frozen for yogurt?
So my favorite is the plain flavored yogurt with Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing.
I haven't had a Vienna sausage in years and years and years.
Not since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And that's a child.
On crackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week we were doing like brisket and barbecue techniques. This week y'all just trying to gross us out. I mean, we're back in the food category, but good Lord.
Ohio, I think that was it. No, he missed it. Son of a. Louisiana Lafayette up 7-0. 2:53 to go in the first.
Yeah, the creamery does a lot of really unique flavors and stuff. They do a good job.
Again, a reminder, there's a ton of football content up on our website.
Yeah, this is not it tonight, guys.
I mean, it's just probably not going to happen today. So my day today has been, and I'm not complaining. I'm glad to have the job that I have. But we podcasted at 8. We hit the button at what, 8:10?
8:13 this morning.
We hit the button at 8:13.
Yep.
I did a podcast at 10 with Martin Palomo. And then at 11:30, I did an interview with Jeff Conway, the Tulane wide receivers coach. At 1, I interviewed Ryan Brown. At 1:30, Zach and I did a podcast. And then at about 2:50, I hit the button on, and thank God I did it when I did it because that was a long show.
It went a little longer than you even thought.
Yeah, it was 3 hours and 15 minutes. So there's a lot of, if you want football, there's a lot of football on our site. A lot of football and picks. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
I know nothing else I can actually say about Tulane and Ole Miss at this point. I got nothing. They're just going to play tomorrow night or Saturday night at 7 o'clock.
Grizzly says, you podcasted all day. I got audited. Let's trade. Nope, I'm good. That sucks. Presley says, if you're ever on HRG and looking for hardcore football content, this isn't your place. We talk about food and consummating marriages exclusively.
Pretty much it.
That's about right, Presley. I'm not as hard to argue.
Yeah. Look, ice cream is fantastic. Like, obviously, I'm not going to be the weirdo that says I don't like ice cream, but I think if I'm just given the choice, like after dinner, I would rather have frozen yogurt with certain toppings than ice cream.
Yeah,
I would rather have the yogurt.
I don't think that's weird.
I think most people would rather have the ice cream.
I mean, I love ice cream, but I think I like yogurt better. Ryan Brown did not say anything negative about Auburn. He actually is with me. He thinks Auburn's going to win the football game.
Did he?
Yeah. Parham here is splitting the difference and going with Penn State.
Auburn to cover.
You did pick
them to cover. That's what matters. I was always going to take the points. I never even thought about laying the 6.5, whatever. There was never a doubt. I don't even really know why I picked Penn State to win because I know Wisconsin's pretty good defensively, whatever, but Penn State offensively didn't do much for me against Wisconsin at 11 o'clock on opening day.
I will say this. It's not going to impact the game at all, but the whole whiteout with the 100,000 people is cool looking.
Oh, it's really well done.
I mean, it's really well done. Sure. It does look cool.
I think I saw somewhere they have a losing record when they do that.
Well, because it has zero impact on the contest. But it is cool looking. I will give them that. I always like when they can stripe the stadium like Wisconsin did. Arkansas did it the other night. That's always cool looking.
It's easier to do this way than up down.
Yeah.
Sorry. Horizontal instead of vertical for those who are not watching our feed.
What was the line on the ULL game? Do you know?
I mean, find it in 2 seconds. Nobody's going anywhere. At some point, we'll let you listen to the Tulane coach, too. We're just kind of hanging out. Odds, NCAA football, 20.5, 19. It closed at 19.
See, that's the stuff that Jones does, Daniel Jones. He has a run, and he gets 2 extra yards but takes a hit in the process. Get out of bounds.
It's not actually like attention to detail, but the little things with him are so bad.
Yes, what I mean.
Yeah, he does that. He falls. He
could walk out at the 17, and instead he gets to the 15, but he takes a hit in the process on his right shoulder. Get the hell out of bounds. We're paying you whatever millions of dollars to throw. You pay Barkley to run.
Yeah, don't be a hero. Nobody on the Giants wants you to be a hero, right?
Not in week 2.
They're just not good.
No,
they're bad.
This is a bad. I guess the Washington needs a damn nickname. I guess they're decent because they're going to win the division, but they're not. They're not going to win a playoff game.
Who went? I mean, Who wins that division?
Washington, I suppose, because Philly
Really?
sucks.
Dallas is okay.
Dallas was okay. Dallas played really
I
well
thought they
against
played
Tampa.
pretty well.
They played really well against Tampa. Dak was really good the other day.
But I need to see him actually go win a football game.
And I got to see him stay healthy. Oh, that's the one thing about the NFL is they really call defensively. You have to be clean. If you put your hands on someone and in coverage, they're going to call it. The college game, you can get away, well, except for Ole Miss last week, you can get away with murder.
I think Neal said that was proven that Toby was not the Scranton Strangler.
He wasn't the Scranton Strangler because he went to see the Strangler in prison and got strangled.
See, I didn't watch this far, so you're.
I mean, spoiler alert.
No, it's okay.
No, he did not strangle himself. Because at that point, what was her name? The redhead.
Oh.
Who was kind of sneaky hot. They had the British accent. She had almost given up on life to the point that she might consider being with him.
Uh-huh.
And then he pulled that, and she was like, no, I'm done.
Him being the guy would be funnier. But is it too much for that? Like,
yeah, it couldn't be.
It's too much,
it's
right?
Too much. It would have been too much.
Because you still have like a semblance of a.
No, not Meredith. Not Meredith.
Not Meredith.
No, not Meredith.
No, come on, guys. Jesus.
Not Meredith. Nellie.
Couldn't context clue that a little bit?
Yeah, Nellie. I didn't like Nellie, but Nellie's character was funny. And there at the end, she had just completely. No, I didn't think Meredith was hot. Meredith reminded me of Monroe a few times. But I mean, Nellie was she was attractive.
Larry Joe, the guy on the board wasn't just selling TVs out of his van. He sold all the TVs out of the van. He put a sold out sign on that thread.
Yeah.
I watched through season 5. I've seen nothing after season 5. And that's been years. I would have to start all the way over, frankly. I mean, they're quick watches, though.
No, Nellie's not hot. I mean, Nellie is kind of hot, but Meredith is not hot. God, I love that show.
It
would take so many drinks, Corey. Aaron was hot.
I typically have something on a lot while I'm just kind of working, and I rewatch. It was because they mentioned it on the message board. It's kind of speaking of TV shows. I rewatched the first episode of Friday Night Lights the other day when I was working on something. Just had it on in the background, and I've said multiple times that.
Is that the one where he gets hurt?
Yeah, it's when Jason Street gets hurt.
Yeah.
I've said multiple times that I think for a network show, it's one of the top 3 pilots ever, just on its own accord. But as I watched it, and I still think that, because that they set up every character with just enough where you really get some early motivations. It sets the scene in 42 minutes as well as almost any NBC kind of show can. I don't like that they win the game. I don't like that Saracen throws the Hail Mary pass on the last play to win in the pilot. I feel like he's so spooked. His first pass hits his lineman in the back of the head. He's running the wrong direction. And then suddenly he finds it for this miraculous play that hasn't been able to happen the whole game. Like, let them lose. We'll still come back next week. It's only week 1. They can still win the state title. Nobody's season's over right there. I don't know. The only thing that kind of justifies it the other direction is that did you have to prove he at least had the physical ability?
Well, you had to,
because otherwise, how the hell are you getting through the show if he can't play quarterback?
You're also setting up a couple of epic scenes. I mean, spoiler alert.
Yeah, go ahead. It's been a minute.
The spray whipped cream. She doesn't do that if he doesn't come back and win the game.
What? Wrong show.
No. Wasn't that Friday Night Lights?
No. It was Varsity Blues.
Oh, it's Varsity Blues. Never mind. Screw it.
Let's start over.
Yeah. But the one girl started hitting on him.
He gets a rally girl right after that because he's a starter. But no, like his deal, because no, the whole first season is he wants to coach his daughter, Julie Taylor.
Yeah.
The whole first season's about that. But you
can tell I'm mentally shot today.
Well, it's been a few years.
The brain is shot.
That's the only thing I can come up with is you had to prove he at least had the ability. But otherwise, they need to lose right there. You just gut wrench us and then come back in episode 2 and you go from there and you have the show out.
Kenton says, thanks for all you two do. Is there any way to put your confidence level in each pick and Neal's picks? Us betting degenerates will thank you. We probably could put an individual lock of the week. Here's my lock.
Well, we had that one year where we had the $500 to spend, and it got complicated.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a problem.
But yeah, we could work on something along those lines. I don't know that we're going to do it on every pick.
Maybe you get an extra win or something if you hit it.
Maybe so.
Some kind of bonus point of some.
Get a double, and if you lose it, it's a 2-loss.
Ooh. Not just a positive.
Well, it's got to hurt. God, I don't even know that I'd have one this week. Would you have one this week? I mean, the closest I would
get
is...
Can I not pick one?
Sure. But if someone were to make you pick one
Run through them really quickly. What do we have? I don't have it in front of me.
I'm looking.
I mean, I can pull it up. But...
No, I'm good. I've got it here somewhere. New Mexico plus 27.5 at Texas A&M. No, I'm not touching that. Alabama minus 15 at Florida.
It's at least a contender.
Yeah. Georgia Southern plus 23.5 at Arkansas. I hate that line. Just hate it. Because I don't know what Arkansas is going to do. I mean, Arkansas might get bored up 14 and only win by 10. Mississippi State minus 3 at Memphis. No, hell no. South Carolina plus 30.5 at Georgia. It's just so many points. Auburn plus 6.5 at Penn State.
That's a contender. If you have to pick one, that's on the list.
I guess. Central Michigan plus 20.5 at LSU.
Like that.
I kind of like it, but I don't know that I'd put a bunch on it. I like Ole Miss minus 14 versus Tulane, but if you told me Tulane stayed within 10.
It's Alabama or Auburn. No, never mind. It's Stanford. I'll take my Stanford minus 11 against Vanderbilt and run it.
Stanford minus 11 at Vanderbilt. That probably would be
That's the lock.
That'd be my lock.
My second one would be Alabama or Auburn.
And the more I think about it, I think my lock would be Alabama minus 15. Just screw it. I don't see that. I just don't see it. I don't know what the hell we're talking about even. Like, I've watched Florida some, and what are we doing? I think Kentucky's better than Florida. I think Ole Miss is better than Florida. I might walk away tomorrow night and go, Auburn's better than Florida. Hell, I might think Arkansas is better than Florida in 9 days. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Their quarterback play is average.
And they're above average everywhere else. Not great, above average everywhere else.
Yeah. But
they're a 7.5 everywhere else.
If I say, what's Florida's identity this year? You're like, I don't know. I'm scared of teams like that. What's their identity?
Yeah, in college football, the identity is the...
Because if I tell you what's Ole Miss's identity, it's Matt Corral's going to light your ass up. Right? If I tell you,
and they can sneaky run the football.
What's Georgia's identity? Defensively, they're a damn stonewall.
Yeah.
Alabama, what's their identity? They're just good at everything. Even Arkansas, what's your identity? We're going to run it right at you, and we're going to play pretty good on the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be really physical at the line of scrimmage, and we're going to that's who we're going to be. Kentucky, we're going to be really balanced. We're going to play really good defense.
I was looking on Twitter today because several people analyzing Kentucky's offense, talking about they're essentially running the Rams offense, a college version of what Sean McVay does, except with Levis. It was a very similar thing.
I like Levis.
Look, if you know somebody at Master Lock that can get Neal's Lock of the Week presented by Master Lock, we'll be happy to talk.
Hell yeah.
All good. Nobody is replacing Pitt's production. That's the problem. That's the thing. There is no other Kyle Pitts.
Well, Tony left too.
Yeah.
And Van Jefferson's gone. Been gone, but he's gone.
Yeah.
He made a big play the other night for the Rams.
He did. They've gotten a lot out of just okay wideouts. I mean, they're still hanging out there with like Deshaun Jackson.
God, Ole Miss had a bunch of talent.
Had some dudes.
He was on the cusp of doing it.
It's the positive. He showed it can be done,
Oh,
even
for
when he
sure.
was not being efficient. Had plenty of other stuff going on, and was now still not recruiting linebackers, but
No.
at all.
Well, I hate to do this because it's an Arkansas thing and people get tired of me talking an Arkansas thing, but I was talking to someone at Arkansas the other day who said one of the things they really like about Pittman, this was someone inside the program, is that he lets Odom and the defense have numbers in recruiting.
Yeah, sure.
And that was a knock on Hugh. Defensive coaches got very frustrated with it. That benefit of the doubt always went to offense. Because that was him.
Even from the standpoint of you had an athlete, they wanted him on the offensive side of the ball first, and they would move him over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hugh passed on a pretty good linebacker in Grenada. That, in fairness, a lot of people on that staff wanted. Because he wanted.
Yeah, because they get the pass in a way. You get the pass in a way because he had no other SEC offers. Like, nobody offered him, so it wasn't like you were the whatever. But you're the local school. You know him better than everybody else, too. So that also takes away some of that. Jannard Avery, by the way.
Yeah, and he would have crawled on glass.
Well, yeah.
And,
C.J. Avery would be helpful. He played a good game for Louisville.
Yeah, he did.
He was good.
He was a good player. Mississippi made.
Satterfield getting it done.
Yeah, Jefferson's dad was very skeptical about the Ole Miss staff.
A troll is in the Hey Coach live stream, and the panic around trying to get a moderator to remove him from the stream right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. Guy calling Saban a liar in the live stream.
Oh, that won't go over
That's
well.
not handled.
Oh, no.
It's not being handled very well by. Let's see. We got Bobby from Memphis. Got got somebody watching from Coleman.
I bet.
Yeah. James from Jasper.
Oh, I can only imagine. James from Jasper, you're on. Hey, Coach. Coach Saban. Coach Saban, are you still there? I'm right here. Shoot me.
I'm really waiting on like the guy from Demopolis right now. That's what I need.
Coach, first I want to tell you how much I love you, and my wife loves you, and my daughters love you, and my son loves you, and my dog loves you. Our dog is named Saban. I was just wondering if maybe this week we could use the tight end a little bit more, maybe throw the ball to the tight end a little bit.
But you have to ask it in a way that's not being condescending or
right,
negative toward Nick.
First, Coach, I understand that you've won
A lot of games.
So many games and so many championships, and my God, you've made us so happy every week at my house. And but I just was noticing in the Mercer game that maybe it looked like if we would have thrown the ball to the tight end, we would have scored a little bit more. And I was wondering if maybe this week you thought y'all would throw to the tight end more against Florida. And Coach, again, I love you, and my wife loves you. She loves you more than me. She screams your name, and
we really appreciate that signed letter we got when we gave the $15 a couple years ago for the Crimson Club.
That was so nice of you to send that letter, and we framed it. It's above our dining room table, and we
right
love
next
you.
to the deer head.
You're starting to see why I got fired at Mobile, aren't you?
No shot. No idea. Gulf Coast, thank you as always. Good to see you in the chat. Says, Will, does LK have less, same, or more of the same resources to get it done like Brother Hugh? Loving all the content. Thanks, guys.
Oh, he's got more.
He has the potential to have a good bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it was rolling there for a little while, but look, Ole Miss just needs more. I mean, let's just keep it real. Just need more.
Yeah.
Still got to be efficient. Got to pick your battles. And when you're out, you got to get out.
Look,
When it's over, go away.
Is Patterson at TCU is getting criticized for what he said at an alumni function?
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, he told the boosters they might want to start paying or everybody's going to the SEC.
I mean, I guess it's sort of controversial that he just put it right out there. But what are we arguing? I mean, is anyone contending that he's not right? He's right. I mean, welcome to the NFL Junior, which is this SEC.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's the NFL on Saturday.
Matt, I'll definitely hit you up when I get low, but I've used it 3 or 4 times. I still got most of that bottle, so I think we're good at the moment. Appreciate it. Hope everything does go well with your daughter. However,
Mexican Narwhal just confirmed what I thought, that the guy for the Giants broke his leg pretty bad.
Oh, see, I was not looking up.
Yeah, I was trying not to look at it, but that's what I thought it was, and he said, yeah.
I did even put the Green Dragon today, though, Matt, on a turkey sandwich of all things. Like I just started
it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've started just putting it on everything.
It's great.
fine.
It's the perfect amount of heat.
And I really like jalapeno hot sauce. Like that's the right that flavor
Mm-hmm.
will. I still want to do the wing thing. I still have. I guess get some from LB's and doctor them up. Those some jalapeno and smoke those son of a guns.
Smoke them and then finish them in an air fryer and then
Finish them in the air fryer.
Yes,
to get them crisp.
I did it 2 weeks ago. I was so excited.
So what else would need to go on them other than that stuff? Just that sauce?
Yeah, just the sauce.
So just coat them in the sauce, toss it,
yeah,
smoke them
smoke
on the egg or whatever.
Yeah.
and then
put them in the air fryer for like 8 minutes. Get crispy.
Okay. Oh, I bet that does crisp them up, and then the sauce would.
Yeah, it kind of cook into
gel.
it. Yeah, sure.
No more hives. No, we're hive free since last Thursday. I'm doing all right. No issues today from that. So I think we're good. You want to play our Jeff Conway?
Yeah,
and
sure.
Then we'll go from there with some calls.
Yeah, we'll come back from that. We'll take calls. I talked to Tulane wide receivers coach Jeff Conway. Anybody who wants to know how that come about, our daughter Campbell and Jeff's daughter Bobby are super tight friends. They're pledge class and they're in the same little group of like 6 or 7 friends.
Okay, hold on a second. Serrano peach salsa? Where do I get that? That sounds really good. Now, Serranos are hot as hell, but
yeah, I'm not a big peach flavor person.
I like peach. Like fresh peaches are awesome. Where do Kenton, before we start, well, we can start this, but let me know in the thing where to get that.
So here's Tulane wide receivers coach Jeff Conway. We'll come back and we'll take calls on the other side. Tulane wide receivers coach Jeff Conway, kind enough to spend some time with me today. I was just telling Jeff before we got started, his daughter Bobby and my daughter Campbell are sorority sisters, great friends, gotten to know each other. I'll tell you this, Jeff, we moved into Reed Hall again in August, moving Caroline, and Bobby was right there waiting for us at the car to help us move our stuff. It was
right.
It was, thank goodness, because she was a huge help. She's a great young woman who've really gotten to enjoy getting to know her, and so glad that she's part of Campbell's life. So
well, thank you.
Good to talk to you. All right. I know obviously there's football, and we'll talk about the football in a minute, but in many ways, when I think about what you guys have been through, the football's somewhat secondary. You're obviously Tulane's there in New Orleans and the hurricane's coming, and someone who lived in Mobile, I know what that's like. Hey, there's a hurricane on the way. You've got to watch it. And you begin to realize that this thing's probably going to impact New Orleans and South Louisiana in a big way. And you guys get out of there to go to Birmingham. I know you're coaching a football team, but you also have a family and a house, and you've got all this stuff going on. What was that like those 3 days before the hurricane hit New Orleans?
Well, hurricanes are a fairly common occurrence in that area of the United States. So I remember we've been my family and I have been in New Orleans with Tulane now for 6 years. And I remember when Ida was forming people said could be big. We've been in that situation multiple times, and we seem to have avoided most of the serious damage. Obviously, Lake Charles and Baton Rouge have gotten hit a lot harder in the last 2 years than New Orleans. But anyway, as this thing got closer, when you're involved in a football season, it comes in 10-minute increments, 10 minutes to the next meeting, 10 minutes to the next meal, 10 minutes to film review. And so you kind of get lost a little bit on what's going on. Our director of football operations, Shane Meyer, does a great job of updating us and on what's going on, particularly weather-wise. So we scrimmaged the week before we played our first game of the year against Oklahoma. We scrimmaged that Saturday morning, and Coach Fritz kind of had an unannounced team meeting right afterwards. And it was then that we had speculated before this might happen, but didn't think it was going to. Coach Fritz announced that we would be leaving and relocating in Birmingham, Alabama, and the entire team would be going. And obviously, there was some concern by a lot of kids in that direction. You mean, what do you mean I'm leaving? What about my pets? What about my place? Because you have people that are on campus and you have people that are off campus. It's two different dynamics. And then to think we're going to move our entire football operation up, roughly 6 hours away is a little bit of a daunting task. But we were meeting on that in that team meeting around 11 in the morning. And we announced that we were leaving at 7 o'clock that night.
Unbelievable.
And our administration and director of football operations did an unbelievable job because, after you get over the small things, like, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to how many days of clothes do I bring? And things like that. The fact that the university decided to take the entire football program, really all athletics, it ended up eventually being all athletics, to Birmingham, Alabama, to be safe from the hurricane threat, 140 mile an hour winds, is really a blessing. And that's what we tried to preach to the players in times of concern. I remember our first night here, we got in at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and that Saturday. And the next day, we didn't practice, but we have one of our duties is bed check. And I have, coaching the wide receivers for Tulane, I have 13 different rooms that I have to check. And when we had a staff meeting that afternoon, Coach said, make sure you take the time to sit and visit with each kid about things that he's concerned about ease his fears and really talk to him. And it was great advice. It was great advice on his part because that, which normally takes about 15 minutes to bed check 13 rooms, that took an hour and a half because lots of kids were concerned, but they're tough guys and they don't want to let you know that they're concerned, but there was concern. And you got to remember too, a large part of these kids have people, some friends or family or somebody connected to New Orleans. Most of them left, but some of them stayed. And obviously they were very concerned about those people as well. So at the end, the biggest takeaway is that Tulane kept us safe and made the decision to take us away. And this goes annually. It goes back. The preparation for this is quite extensive. Our, as I mentioned before, our director of football operations, he makes an annual trip to Birmingham to make sure we have the right hotel and to make sure they have the right services, because sometimes their labor force changes and ours hasn't. So he's got to get those people up to date. And here we are. We ended up happening this year. So it was in the hotel in the city of Birmingham. There's so many people. Mountain Brook High School here in Birmingham. There's so many people that have gone out of their way to not only make us feel welcome, but accommodate us, because as you can imagine, with roughly 200 people involved in a move, it takes a lot of organization.
So what is just a typical practice day like there in Birmingham? I know you guys have been the game that was scheduled for New Orleans got moved to Norman. We'll talk about that in a minute. You played a home game in quotes at Legion Field. You've been getting ready this week to go to Ole Miss. I know you guys have practiced. I saw you practice one day in Tuscaloosa. You've practiced in some different places. It sounds like most of it's at Mountain Brook, but what's a typical day like?
Well, we actually, Neal, when we on Sunday, which was our first full day here, 6 days before the Oklahoma game, we were calling around trying to find a place to practice and trying to find a place to lift weights, because it's not like you can go to the hotel weight room and accommodate an entire football team.
Yeah.
Mountain Brook High School actually was the facility that allowed us to use their weight room. And they were great about it. And on top of that, they gave a bunch of donations. Like by day 2, we had boxes and boxes of toilet paper and deodorant and things just sitting that had been donated so the kids could walk down and grab it and come back. We ended up getting Legion Field here in Birmingham to practice at. It's a short drive, so we dress here, we run into the locker room to dump our stuff, and we run out of the field and we practice for 2 hours. 2 times because of rain threats. The University of Alabama has been very gracious to allow us to use their indoor facility. Once the first week in preparation for Oklahoma, and then yesterday in preparation for Ole Miss. So, I mean, we couldn't have practiced like the Monday, Labor Day. We couldn't find a place to practice because it was still good weather, and it was, things were shut down because of Labor Day, and we were able to. It ended up being a day off for us, which the players were excited about. But other than that, we had there was a lot that went into it. But a typical day is, I guess we're up by 5:30 or 6, and we meet as a coaching staff offensively. And then we start breakfast at 6:30, and then the kids got to get taped, and we've got a kind of a mobile training room set up in one of the ballrooms downstairs, and the kids can get taping and treatment done there. And then we start special teams meetings, and then we go right into position meetings, and then we get on the bus, and 4 buses take us to Legion Field and we practice. And we come back and we shower up and go back down as a coaching staff, and we spend the rest of the day together game planning or watching film or prepping for our upcoming game. And then that kind of finishes with bed check, and they've been giving us per diem, so you got to find a place to eat, and they're providing breakfast for us here at the hotel, so that's been convenient. The first 2 weeks, we've been here 3 weeks, Neal, and the first 2 weeks were very crazy. It was like being a pro football player. The kids didn't have any class. The university had delayed online classes until this week. Well, it was back to reality this week, because now classes have been going on now for 4 days. And that there was a little grumbling about that, about having to take classes, but we tried to assure them that their pro football time would come. It's not here yet. And so the kids have been involved in classes, that literally last all afternoon. We have lots of kids we had 30 kids the other night who couldn't go to a dinner that was provided to us by one of our boosters because they had night class. So it's just, all these, and getting the kids to have access to their laptops and find a quiet area. And so that's kind of a typical day. And then, but it's just another day. It's not, we're safe, we're healthy, and that means a lot.
Your house came out okay down in New Orleans?
Yeah, we got lucky. We live in an area that is not flooded. And so we got 2 trees that went down in our driveway, and my wife had driven the car up here, and had my car been sitting there, it would have gotten hit. But luckily, all it did was trap her car in the driveway. Other than that, we had quite a bit of debris that blew in through the windows, kind of around the window frames. And then the electricity went off for, I don't know, 8-10 days. And, we learned a valuable lesson not to leave your food in there and hope that you get back in a couple days. So my wife has gone back once to try to take care of that kind of stuff. But
you've not been back at all, right?
No, there's just, this is an everyday,
right.
We're here. And we knew this when we took this job, that when you go through human resources, your orientation, you're told that if your athletic team is relocated, you as a coach must go with them. And we wanted to.
Of course.
I mean, my 3 kids are lucky enough to all either be in school in Fayetteville, Arkansas, or working. And so all we really had to worry about was Jolene and I, my wife. And so, most of our focus has been the kids.
What have you learned about the kids that you coach? I mean, I know you recruited those guys, you like those guys, but obviously this is not what they were planning for all summer when they're lifting weights, running and all that stuff. They're not thinking, hey, we're going to be in a hotel in Birmingham, Alabama for 3.5 weeks. And this game that we've got this big hyped up game with Oklahoma that we're going to play on our campus. It's actually going to be in Norman, and our home game against, was it Morgan State?
Morgan State.
That was not going to be in New Orleans either. We're going to play that in front of 2,200 people in Birmingham. And, I mean, to say they've dealt with some adversity here is an understatement. What have you learned from them about?
The kids here's what I've learned. The kids are really more resilient than the adults. They bounce back and they're just happy to hang out with their friends, play football, and have a good meal and have some fun. And there's been very little drama. There really has. And the other thing that has been brought out in this scenario is that we have really good kids in our program. That's hard to do a lot of times when you have 120 players, but Tulane recruits a certain type of individual that's academically oriented to begin with. So those kids tend to be goal oriented and fewer problems in general. And we've got really good kids. Now the freshmen, well, by the way, we're in a COVID pandemic too. So we have our kids who we signed in this class. We've never met them before. Most of them. That's not 100% true, but and you really get to know those kids, and that's been a blessing. The other byproduct of this whole thing, Neal, is that our kids, and our kids talked about this a lot, is the closeness, the brotherhood that would be formed. And believe me, when we played, let me take it a step farther. When we recovered the onside against Oklahoma with 2 minutes left to go in the game, there was about 75 guys on our sideline that were 100% convinced we were going to win the game. There was no wavering. No one was second guessing. It was on. And what a cool feeling that is. And so this team is probably as closer than any other team I've been around here at Tulane. And a lot of it's because of what we're going through.
You play Ole Miss on Saturday night here in Oxford. What have your impressions been of Ole Miss? There was a team that defensively last year was just awful. They look like they're significantly better so far this year, but you're a football guy. You've looked at them on film. What do you see from Ole Miss's defense in terms of the challenges they present you guys?
Oh, I think, Neal, it's a lot like playing Oklahoma. They have good football players, and they're a upper echelon program, and they have a dynamic offense and quarterback. And so, we got our work cut out for us. And, but I've been very impressed with their improvement on defense. They got some transfers that are good players. And then some of the kids that were playing last year have grown up. They've been through the tough times, I think. And they're playing with a lot of energy right now. And so it'll be a tough task. I mean, going into Oxford in of itself, but I like our chances. Our kids are tough. The Oklahoma game, if it did anything, Neal, it convinced our team that we could compete. Unfortunately, it probably woke up Ole Miss. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think those kids see that score and they go, "Whoa!" Because if you believe the preseason hype on Oklahoma, they're a top 5 team, a national title contender, and they've built this lead on you guys, and probably a lot of people checked out of that game, and you looked up and it's like, whoa, it's a 5-point game, and Tulane's got the football here at the end. I mean, that ought to turn some heads.
I think that tribute to our program and Coach Fritz and our kids is that I think that a lot of times the prediction will be that a bigger school and major program like that has an upper hand, but it's also a tall task, because one thing that we are is we're a tough football team. We have tough kids, and they battle. Kids from that area of the United States, they don't back down from anybody or anything. And so as coaches, we're excited about, we love playing these games because we can help hold our head high when we walk into the stadium, know that it's going to be a dogfight that day, and the best team has a chance to win. And the other thing, I think the other dynamic that's involved is the kids. A lot of times as a football program, you connect yourself to something outside of football, and you end up fighting for that. Well, our choice has been easy this fall, because our choice is the city of New Orleans and the people who really have it a lot worse than we do as a football program. Here, the hurricane's gone through, and some people have lost everything. We're going to go back Sunday and get ready for a game against UAB at home. And we've got football, and we've got places to live, and we've got people who'll take care of us. And there are people in New Orleans who are suffering great hardships right now. And for us to be able to play for them on their behalf is an honor. And our kids have attached themselves to that. They talked about it a lot before Oklahoma, and danged if they didn't talk about it last week against our at home game, if you will, here in Birmingham against Morgan State. And they've attached themselves to that. I think that's been a real positive.
What was the reaction this week when Coach Fritz told the guys, "Hey, we're about to head back"? And
as I told you earlier, I guess it was just another team meeting, and we were making announcements. But when in our kid, it's a pretty there's one person talking in those meetings, and that's the head coach. Yeah. But danged if he didn't say, "Guys, all right, we're going to go play Ole Miss, and we're going to bus over there. It's about 2.5, 3 hours. We're going to bus back that night after the game. We're going to get up early and drive back to New Orleans." And the kids started clapping and hooping and hollering. They're excited. And you forget that sometimes as a football coach, that they're trying to battle their way through every single day and every single hour. And you sometimes forget about the pressure that they're involved with also. And so that was fun to see. And, and then right away we went to work, getting ready.
Hey, last thing, you mentioned pets and stuff. Are some of those pets with you guys there at the hotel?
Yes. Thank goodness this is a pet-friendly hotel, because I had no idea about 30 of our guys have dogs. And we have some auxiliary vans that came up with us, and all the dogs came in the vans. And you got to make arrangements for them. And the hotel staff said, "Ask our players to quit walking them around the hotel. Please take them outside." And, it's been, but they've been very accommodating. This is a skeleton staff that the Sheraton's been working with.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah,
the pandemic has made a lot of hotels.
No doubt. And I heard today they have 31 employees.
Wow.
Trying to take care of. And so, you're not getting your room cleaned every day and normal stuff in a hotel, but again, we're safe and we're healthy and we're getting to coach and play football. So it's still good.
Really appreciate the time. I know you're on a busy schedule. Thanks for spending some time with us. Safe travels over to Oxford on Saturday. Best of luck to you and your team, and look forward to meeting you sometime soon.
That'd be great, Neal. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Jeff. That was Jeff Conway, Tulane wide receiver coach. Apparently my doppelganger. That's what I'm getting from a number of people. Do you see similarities?
Well, I mean, as in the fact that both of y'all didn't have very much hair and you both had caps on from that standpoint. Yeah, 100%.
It's the whole.
You look just alike.
It's the whole bald.
All bald guys look alike.
All bald guys look alike. There's no point in working out. There's no point in doing anything about it. Once you lose your hair, it's over. You're done.
And the most depressing thing for you there is people have hats on and you still just are called bald, even with a cap on.
Yeah, you can tell.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Those kids on Sunday finally getting to go home.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Just.
Blake wants a score update. Washington and New York are tied at 7. 11-16 to go in the second. Louisiana Lafayette leads Ohio 14-0. 5:24 and counting to go in the second.
Yeah, the Cajuns are kind of playing with their food a little bit over here. It looks like they've dominated the game, but 14-0 currently. Lafayette punting from its own ball out at the 9. And then Washington just scored, so just made it 7-7.
Flooded Grove says I tuned in and thought it was your dad before I saw his name. My dad still has hair.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
I mean, he's 79 years old and still has a head full of hair. Damn it! Every man in my family except me has hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, both of my brothers have lots of hair.
What happened?
I mean, I don't know. It's totally wrong.
I have not watched the video they put out today, but I've seen some renderings, and I mean, I think they're doing a lot with about as much with the Manning Center as they can do without making wholesale construction changes that just aren't really feasible. So,
did you make anything of Archie Manning being in it?
When you ask Archie to be in it, if he says yes, you put Archie in it. But I mean, I don't think Archie went, you know what? Here's going to be a clue today. I'm going to talk about this, and that means, hey, Arch, come on down. No, I mean, no. Again, it's there. I mean, Archie's a phenomenal fundraiser, so you use him anytime you can use him.
Sure,
but nah, I didn't really put much on that. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, yeah, hair's recessive. Like, my entire dad's side of the family is gray, but still has all their hair. But that means nothing. And my mother was adopted, so I don't know much about that side of the family. So it was kind of a crapshoot whether I would maintain my hair or not as time is going on. I'm probably safe now, I think. Maybe not, but
you're
my hunch is I'm
point.
safe.
Yeah, come on.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, if you lose it like in your 80s, who gives a right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not what I mean. I mean, I think when you go, hey, you're going to lose your hair, you're talking about pre-65-ish. Right?
Oh, it's dude.
What?
Pre-25-ish.
I guess that's the point. Like, even right now, like, what difference does it really make? Like
today? I mean, nothing really. I mean, I guess. Although, if, like, someone came to me and said, you can have a full head of hair. And I said, what's the catch? And they said, there's no catch. I'm like, done. All right, we've done football. So I feel like at this point, honestly, today I feel like we've given you sports. And so if that's not enough, I don't know what to tell you. I'll just accept the criticism.
I mean, there's nothing else to say.
They're going to play.
I don't know literally anything else I can say about the Ole Miss Tulane.
Not only that, I've talked about all the other games about as much as I can talk about them. They're going to play the games. Someone's going to win. Someone's going to lose.
We were talking about it during the interview a second ago. Ross Dellinger has a few program covers from the 1950s and into the 60s of Tulane with Greeny, the little man that's on their helmet.
They're fantastic.
They're fantastic. Yeah, they would never be a thing in 2021. And some of the old mascots, you see why they have been changed as well as time has gone on. He was an evil little son of a gun. He pushes the LSU Tiger into a grave with a shovel.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, literally killing him.
He puts the Vanderbilt Commodore down in a thing and is going to blow it up.
Yes.
And he's pulling the chair out from
Colonel Reb.
Colonel Rebel.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is at all times holding a Confederate flag.
Yeah, it's by his side very often in these.
The list of the list of things that would not be accepted today. And I rest my case about the catfish. Just it would have been could have saved yourself a lot of trouble.
Stay with the flood.
Muddy the catfish.
Stay with the flood.
The Ole Miss flood with Muddy the catfish.
Just be the
and
flood.
You're good.
The flood would be a cool mascot.
Sure.
Got nothing.
All right, phone line is open. There it is. I don't think I've missed a call yet. Yeah, I guess I did, but it was away. Oh, someone tried to call an hour ago. I don't feel bad about that. And they left a voicemail message.
Look that one.
I'm not going to play that. There's no telling. 662-259-0991 if anybody wants to call in. We're here. 14-7, by the way, Ohio scored.
Oh. It is a horrific crowd in Lafayette.
Yeah, there's
tonight.
nobody there.
I mean, it's really bad.
Bubba, is that you?
Hey, boys. How y'all doing?
Bubba, we're good. How are you?
Sitting here itching like crazy. I repoed the car. And the dog was with me, and he was running out. Chase was. I got chiggers all over me. I've been itching like crazy for about 2 days. So it's been bad.
I hate to hear that.
A lot of calamine lotion. What are we using?
I'm pink all over.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So just FYI, when the dog gets you pick him up, you can have him on you. So it is what it is. But I've never been bit like this in my life. So, and anyway, just wanted to get y'all's thoughts on 2 things. I'll tell you what, number 44, Neal, you said he's a real deal. That boy is, man, he's good. And been hearing some stuff. It looks like old Arch is coming again. What's your thoughts on that?
What do you hear? Well, hold on. What are you hearing on Arch?
Well, he's coming in October. So
he is coming in October. That is true.
Yep, my son-in-law, he's over in Alabama. He thinks they're going to get him, but I don't think so at all. So I keep telling him he's out of his mind. But anyway, they've got enough good players over there. I don't need him. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. Sorry, I'm kind of just in an ill mood from itching so much.
Hope you feel better, Bubba. Thanks for the call.
All right, y'all have a good night. Bye.
I don't think he's going to Alabama. I think it's Ole Miss or Texas. Clemson's in it. That's about as far as I'd go.
That's it. Yeah. I don't think anybody else is actually in it to a point that even is worth. Look, I can be a bit of a Tulane shill here, as people know, and the helmets are good. I find old timey retro throwback helmets really interesting. I like alternate uniforms a ton. Like somebody says, Brett McMurphy called it the best helmet of the year. It is not the best helmet of the year, though. I mean, it's cool.
It's cool,
but it's not. I mean, frankly, it's worse than their current helmet.
Oh, the
Wave is a much better logo than the green guy.
Yeah, the Angry Wave is the best, one of the best
logos
in sports.
Yeah.
I mean, I was putting it on as many pages as I could because it's awesome.
You just put it everywhere?
Yeah. It was great.
I mean, it's fine, but, sorry. Who's here?
Hey, it's Corey.
Hey, Corey.
What's going on, guys? First of all, I just want to say appreciate the pod. Daily listener. Appreciate all the work that you guys do.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, so my question is, with CBS, the SEC on CBS has been a staple in the South for so many years, and it has been with my family and as I've grown up through high school, college, and as an adult. What is the future of CBS now with the outgoing contract with ABC and the ESPN deal? Is CBS no longer going to be a staple, as far as viewership? And what is their plan moving forward? I mean, obviously they've got a pretty good deal, lucrative deal going on with the NFL, but are their days past gone now moving forward?
Temporarily, yes, from an SEC standpoint.
Yeah, with the SEC, they're
because
done.
ESPN took all of it. I will say they'll probably grab another conference to some extent, and it's going to give me a really weird feeling when I hear that music and I see all those logos, and it's like, get ready for Arizona State, Arizona, and you go, no, it's not what this.
Yeah,
that is not the way I grew up, and what pulls my heartstrings there.
Absolutely, it's kind of sad to see, but hey, it's a dog eat dog world, so I completely understand that. And hey, Neal, by the way, follow Chase's lead. You got to follow the American Crime Story deal with the impeachment. It is fantastic. If you've not seen the Versace deal and the OJ versus the OJ documentary, or I guess they'd say series, it's fantastic. Love you guys so much. Listen to you guys daily. Keep up the good work. Solid follower. Appreciate all the guys you do.
Hey,
Thanks,
Corey.
I appreciate it.
What's the Versace?
The murder of that was season 2 of the FX Crime Story. It was
Oh.
OJ, or maybe it was even first. But either way, they've done OJ and Versace.
Okay, I saw OJ.
Yeah, and then now Lewinsky is season 3. So
Okay.
it was whatever. Y'all are being saved a little bit though, because as you're well aware, Neal and I can do 55 minutes on Alexander Hamilton. If he's caught up on this, it might take over a whole Tuesday. So you're actually benefiting by him not being caught up on this yet.
Well, because
And
I'm
that's-
really interested in the whole Clinton-Lewinsky thing because I've read and listened a lot.
It's one of my few weird obsessions, and we have a bye week next week. That's probably a good thing. Let's just say
It
that.
probably is. I'm gonna catch up on it. It just hasn't worked out from a schedule standpoint, but I want to watch it. It's on the DVR. On a scale of 1 to 10, realistic, where are you on it?
Oh, on the show.
Lewinsky.
Oh, 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, Lewinsky, her producing it allows for a lot of things that follow the other things that I have read and watched on it. And look, it's just you can't put everything because of timing. Like, and maybe we get to this later, and this didn't give anything away. Like, they opened the show with her at the mall the day the Secret Service or the FBI has come in to take her to the hotel room and all that stuff.
Because Linda Tripp says they're going to talk, and she's asking her
for lunch, and she's getting sabotaged. And they don't include, like, that Lewinsky tried to go to the bathroom and call the secretary for Clinton to try to give, because he's testifying the next day. They don't show some of those things. Now, maybe they get to it later, maybe we come back to it, but it shows her getting put in the room, and then when it goes to the first show credits, and this is actually true, Tripp is in, like, the room next to her, and they've got it open. And they said, hey, get her out of here. And Lewinsky looks at Linda Tripp and goes, no, I want that treacherous bitch to see what she did to me.
Oh, wow.
And that's where it goes to the opening credits.
Hey, who do we have?
Natchez.
I'm sorry?
Casey from Natchez.
Hey, Casey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Enjoying the evening. Y'all having a good evening?
Oh, yeah, we are.
Cool. Well, I've got 2 things. First of all, the Tulane coach, Neal, that could be your brother. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but other than the hat.
He might look more like your brother than your actual brothers.
He does, because my
that's
actual
what I'm
brothers
saying.
don't look a lot like me.
Yeah, I was like, that's a poor man's Neal there for a second.
Of the 3 of us, I'm easily the ugliest. Both of my brothers have full heads of hair. Good-looking guys. I'm not in that boat. But anyway,
well, if it makes you feel better, I have a full head of hair and I'm still ugly, so
it happens. I know.
It'll be okay. So I wanted to, I'm here in Natchez and a lot of LSU people here. I was playing golf last weekend, and I know y'all may have talked about this, but I want to, we were in the clubhouse. There's some LSU fans in there, and every time I have an Ole Miss hat on, or Ole Miss polo shirt on, or whatever, they're like, "Oh, what about the Rebels and stuff?" So we got to talking, and every one of them, seems to think that nothing is going to happen with the NCAA, and maybe it won't. maybe special ed will escape again. But is there an update on that, or do they be more with NCAA, or are they just not going to do anything because all these NOIs or NILs, or what's y'all's opinion on that?
I don't think it has anything to do with NILs. I think it's the NCAA has been somewhat rendered toothless right now. The commissioner has been very critical. There's just, the pandemic happened. That stopped a lot of stuff from moving forward. And right now the NCAA is overwhelmed, undermanned, and toothless, which is not a great equation if you're trying to be an enforcement arm. I still think something happens because, frankly, there's a lot of pressure from within the SEC for something to happen from all the other leagues, for all the other teams in the league, all the schools in the league. And if nothing happens, I think the message that gets sent is one that Greg Sankey does not want sent during this time of NIL and no penalty transfers where tampering is out of control. The message that gets sent is, hey, it's the Wild Wild West, go for it. And if you listen to Sankey, he wants something done, including to LSU. There's no doubt about that. So that makes me think that eventually something happens.
Yeah, well, I hope something happens because, I know I'm an Ole Miss fan, and it's hard to see anything other than that way. But, to get hammered the way we did, and it would just be so typical if we were the last team that just got smoked. But anyway, enjoy the show. Y'all have a good evening. I'll call in again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Look at Daniel Jones, man.
Just rolling. There's a flag, though.
Oh, was there? Well, that's a shame. Quarterback makes a run like that, it should count.
Is it on the defense?
Must have coming back.
Nobody's really
He's got
reacting.
wheels now.
Yeah, he can run a little bit.
He's a better athlete than
It's
people
on
give
the
him
Giants.
credit for being. Yeah.
It's coming back.
That's pretty shaky. That's not a good call. Nah, it's not a good call. I don't like that call at all. Hey, who's this? Hey, who's this?
My name is Lila.
Hey, Lila, how are you doing?
Good.
What's going on tonight?
Comment for you guys about your guest. That guy from the post-game show, Jeffrey, he's, how do I say this politely? He's annoying.
Jeffrey's annoying?
You're the first person that's ever said that, Lila.
How is he annoying, Lila? Can you fill me in case we have to tell Mr. Jeffrey what it is that makes him so annoying?
Well, he was talking like more than half of the whole podcast, and it just got really boring.
Lila, I'm surprised you were up that late. That was a late game. That was way past your bedtime. Did they let you stay up that late? What time is your bedtime on a weekend night?
Between like 10 and maybe 10:30.
Wow. Oh, okay. Wow, that's pretty good. I heard your dog barking. What's your dog's name?
I don't know what he's doing. He wants to come inside, so now he's staring at me.
What's his name?
Aspen.
Aspen?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of dog is he? Is he like a German Shepherd or a Labrador or what?
He's an Australian Shepherd.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. How's your week been? What has your week been like?
This is a normal week. We got to dress up at school for all the days.
Oh, what kind of dress up did you do?
We did Hawaiian, we did hippies, we did nerds, and we did other stuff that I can't remember.
Yeah, I get it. It's been a long week.
How'd you dress up as a hippie, Lila?
I had like this little hippie hat thing, and then a tie-dye shirt, and then just regular shorts.
That did it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is Ole Miss or Tulane going to win on Saturday?
Ole Miss.
What's the score going to be?
100-0.
Oh.
They're going to cover the 14.
Well, while we've got you picking lines here, what do you think on this Alabama-Florida game? Who wins that game? What's the score?
Alabama.
Smart girl.
Yeah. You think they cover the 15, Lila?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. One more. Central Michigan and LSU. Does Central Michigan cover the 20.5?
No way.
Okay.
I want the points.
Oh, you want the points? Yeah, I want the points too. Whoever's whispering to you, Lila, they're getting us all confused, but you're good. Hey, enjoy your weekend, okay? Thanks for calling.
Hi.
Bye. That's our friend Lila. She says Ole Miss wins by 100.
Yeah.
What would the jump be in the polls if Ole Miss won by 100 points? I mean, that would get some
You
attention.
think you would skip over people if you won 100-0?
I'm thinking so. I don't think Kiffin's got it in him to roll it up like that. I think he'd stop in the 70s. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, y'all. This is Mark.
Hey, Mark.
What's up? Calling y'all from Wichita, Kansas tonight.
Oh, okay.
What's in Wichita?
Playing golf.
Hey, I haven't forgotten your hat. I'm going to mail it tomorrow.
Oh, you're good. Oh, I forgot to yeah.
He's not there anyway.
In case anybody's wondering, this hat's from the College Corner. Mark won this the other night, so we might do a giveaway here in a bit. So what's up?
You sound like you're in a little better mood tonight when Tennessee's not playing
Neal.
football.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm trying to tell these morons that 2-10 is most certainly on the table, and they don't want to listen.
2-10 is not on the table.
Mark.
2-10 is on the table.
You're not losing to Vanderbilt.
All right, hold on.
But Chase, hear me out. Now, hear me out.
No, you said 2-10.
They're
going to win
So
this
you're
week.
going to win this weekend. So you're telling me you're going to lose. Hold up. You're going to lose to Florida, Missouri, South Carolina at home, Ole Miss, Alabama, Kentucky, Georgia, South Alabama at home, and Vanderbilt at home. Mark, stop.
Well, those first 7 games, they'll be favored in one of them. And if they have a 7-game losing streak heading into South Alabama, you don't think those kids are going to check out on the staff that did not recruit them?
You don't think you're going to beat
50,000 people in the stadium?
You don't think you're going to beat South Carolina at home?
I don't know. I don't know. But the thing I want to, I know how much how much high respect you have and high esteem you hold for the national college football media.
Yes, I love them very much.
I mean, is Dennis Dodd the biggest hack reporter in the country?
Not the biggest, but I mean, right after
He's
Dan
He's
Wolken.
on the Rushmore.
Yeah, he and Wolken are in. It's a hell of a battle.
Is that
2
1 and 2?
minutes after that USC athletic director. Sorry, I'm in a rental car.
I mean, Dodd was the one that called the Illinois statistician and said everyone's dying last football season.
Yeah, 5 people are going to die.
Not 2 minutes after that USC athletic director announced that Clay Alt was fired, he puts out there that Luke Fickell's the leading candidate, and if he doesn't want to, Dennis.
Yeah, come on.
2 minutes? Think they're in a 2-minute search? This is the same guy last year that said Freeze was the leading candidate at Auburn, and like a day later they're announcing Harsin.
Yeah, the whole AD hired Fickell at Cincinnati is one thing. Great. The AD hiring Fickell at USC without even conducting a search when he has 3 months to conduct said search, stop. I mean, it's idiotic, but it's, you know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what happened because I know the deal. An agent told him that, and he ran with it.
No questions asked.
I'm not kidding you. He said last year that Freeze was the leading candidate at Auburn.
I know, and I can tell you this. I can tell you this beyond a shadow of a doubt. Hugh Freeze never was in the mix at Auburn.
And I can tell you
at no point.
Not Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. So if you told me that Fickell was Dodd's source, I'd buy it. But you can't run with that like that. It's idiotic. But whatever. I mean, look, I've met Dodd. He's
harmless.
He's absolutely harmless. He's got a quote national platform end quote, but whatever.
God. I mean, I know how much respect and esteem you hold the national college football team.
Yeah, I mean, I have no joke. I have a ton of respect for Andy Staples. Mark Schleybaugh. I like Barrett Sallee a lot.
Ross does a hell of a job
Ross is terrific.
That's about it.
But I'm
sure we're forgetting a couple.
I might be forgetting somebody, but I get a little iffy after that.
It's funny because I got a new Twitter account because I got banned from my other one. I said, well, it's college football season, so I better get back on it. I don't see anybody ever retweeting I don't see Woken stuff in my timeline. I don't follow him ever. Is he kind of diminished here in the last year or so?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's become his own troll. He trolls himself. He gets paid by the click, and to his credit, he's a smart guy and he knows what gets clicks. And I think he knows he's probably past the point of being taken very seriously. So now he puts up these crazy contrarian things to get clicks.
Trying to get people to be pissed off at him.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost playing the role of the villain a little bit, which probably eats him alive. But yeah, it's what he's doing. From a business sense, frankly, it kind of makes some sense.
Yeah, because a friend of mine every year on Twitter, he puts out. He's a ball fan. He goes, the greatest losses in ball Twitter history, and he lists about 50, and they're all hilarious. And one of them is, guys, you keep tweeting at Dan Wolken, you're just making him money. You're the idiot, or making fun of ball fans for doing it all the time because all of them went crazy over the Shiano thing. And one of his things is, you're the idiot. Stop tweeting at him. You're making him money. Anyways, yeah, Chase, I'm playing Prairie Dudes tomorrow.
You excited?
Yeah, I mean, I played Flint Hills National today, which was pretty cool. Pretty good Fazio that was voted one of the 10 best golf quote unquote retreats, kind of secluded and
right.
You're kind of out there in the middle of nowhere. And I spent they banged me, so I call because I'm playing Prairie. I got an invite to Prairie Dunes. You can't really turn that down. And I called Flint Hills. I wanted to see it. They're like, yeah, come on out at 8:00 on Thursday morning, and we'll send you the info. Everything you need to know. And so I'm kind of committed at that point. They sent me the thing, $300 for an unaccompanied, $150 for a replay. I'm like, oh my God! If I'd have known that, I would have never played.
Yeah, I think I'd pass on that.
Whatever, it is what it is.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, bud. Appreciate you.
All right. Yep.
Hey, who do we have?
Corey from Amory.
Corey from Amory. I know a Corey in Amory.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, my man?
And before we get started, how are y'all?
We are great. I mean, I'm
Just
great.
peachy.
I can't speak for Chase, but I'm
Neal's
great.
tired. He's not firing on all cylinders right now, but otherwise he's all right.
Is he cranky?
No, I'm not in a bad mood at all. I'm mentally kind of shot a little bit.
He's a little forgetful.
It's been
but
a
otherwise,
day, and I've had some bourbon.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah, of course.
Caught you at a good time. Everything good, less somber than last time I called in. We were talking about tragedies. Were everybody's happy?
Yeah, we're not doing the 9/11 thing today. I've listened to a lot of 9/11 stuff, and I'm angry at Clinton and Bush right now. But it's over. There's nothing we can do about it.
Well, let me tell you about my parenting fail this weekend.
Okay.
So Saturday, I had to is the wrong word. I got to go to my son's baseball game in Oxford on Saturday and Sunday. And y'all know I've purchased a home near the Pontotoc Country Club, and so it's kind of been a place where I can go take a shower and we can take a break. And long story short, this last weekend I spent a lot of time on the road. I was Amory to Oxford on Saturday, Oxford to Pontotoc, Pontotoc to Oxford for the game,
and then Oxford to Amory because I have purchased a house I can't sleep in. And then the next morning I was Amory to Oxford.
Okay, hold up. You can't sleep in it, or you've been requested not to sleep in it?
No, papers dictate that you can't.
Gotcha.
I'm not married yet.
Okay.
I understand.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm thankful for those papers. By the way, I'm good with that. I'm fine. The next day, Sunday, we go Amory to Oxford, and nobody comes in second place in a baseball tournament like the Amory Astros. I mean, nobody circles the wagons and has to play 5 games to lose the championship like the Amory Astros do. We have more rings that are silver than any travel baseball team in the history of organized travel baseball. So we were there till 12 o'clock on Sunday night. But I'm telling you I listened to a lot of podcasts, not thinking about my 11-year-old son in the back seat. So we're going to Oxford on Saturday, and I forgot he was back there. I swear I did. And I'm listening to the Scooby Dooby Dooby, I Need Bigger Boobies thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I hear the Hickory Dickory Dock,
yeah.
and I start laughing.
Yeah.
Well, my 11-year-old son in the back seat starts laughing too, and I didn't know that he knew that's what you would call that. What the joke was,
right.
was the pun.
Yes.
I was like, well, he's just laughing because I'm laughing. Until about an hour later, I heard him telling the joke to his entire team.
That's great.
We got so that the parenting fail 1.
I don't even know that's a fail.
Sometime Saturday, or no, sometime Sunday, we're listening to the show from Saturday, and Bud or Brad or whatever
it was Brad, yeah.
He calls in, and I'm just, this is like something that this is like my version of Bachelor in Paradise. Like, I have to know what's going on. Like, I have to know what is going on. So I forget he's in the back seat again. And he's back there, and the guy cuts off. And I realize he's back there, and I said, "Oh man, some people just, they don't need to talk like that. They don't need to do this." It was so deadpan, though, it just kind of put me to sleep about it. Well, he calls back in, and I immediately reach for my phone. I'm like, "No, we're not listening to this. We're not." And Ross is like, "We have to listen to this. We have to find out." So he wanted me to call in and tell y'all that he's at a 10. He's a 10. He thinks it was legit. He thinks it was. I never told him any other thing this week. I never told him anything that got sleuthed out by the message board. I'm gonna let this child think that guy was being honest about everything.
Well, good for Ross.
So that's my parenting fail. I hope it's the whole month of September, but I
don't even think that's failure. I really don't. That kid's going to grow up ready for the real world. You know what I mean?
The Hickory Dickory Dock thing got me.
I would have actually paid money to listen to him tell that joke to his other 11-year-old teammates.
So we're gonna win this weekend, or we're doomed? I mean, what's everybody thinking? Are we dead before we get going, or?
I mean, I've been
off the board for a day. Has something happened? Somebody tripped and broke an ankle or anything like that, or is it the same as yesterday?
I know there's this fear that people have, and I get it, but I don't see how Ole Miss loses the game.
Ole Miss fans are very good at being paranoid about anything. So this is it this week.
Just tell them, tell us that if we lose, I mean, we're probably not going to lose Lane Kiffin to USC. I mean, they wouldn't hire a coach that got beat by Tulane.
By the way,
you get that.
By the way, can we go here for a minute? The people that think that USC and Lane Kiffin are going to get back together so soon after they humiliated him on the tarmac.
If he does that, I don't care the circumstance. if he does that, that's a special kind of person.
Yeah.
That I want nowhere around my kids. And that's just the truth.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, the column that I would write is, "Oh my God," or not. It would not be, "Are you insane?" It's, "Oh, you are insane." You're literally insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be. Why would you? I mean, first of all, he's not. Second of all, they're not. But in the event that they did, I mean, what you would say about both of them is, "Oh God, you people deserve each other."
Yeah.
I mean, you deserve all the misery that comes your way because you have literally asked for it.
There's an anecdote regarding me and my ex-wife that I am not using right now that I really want to, but it's the same thing. I mean, it's like, no. Let's do something completely different. Let's go a whole different way. And yeah, no, I can't see him wanting that. I can't see them wanting that.
No, it's the people that have done that. And frankly, the only person
it's clicks.
It's Keyshawn Johnson did it on a show that's based on nothing other than how to get more clicks. But other than that, nobody of any repute has. No.
Most people have said that's asinine. Actually,
it's idiotic on so many levels. It's just it's so stupid on both ends that it. Again, if in the crazy world where that happened, everyone deserves each other, and
right.
and I mean, you wouldn't even, there would be nothing to even be upset about. You would just go, "Oh, bullet dodged."
Well, and y'all may have done this already. So if I'm being repetitive, just tell me. I would like for you to. There's been a lot of talk about rankings of jobs, and I was listening to podcasts. I guess it was from today where somebody came out with the top 5 jobs in the country.
Yeah.
I think LSU was 5th, something like that.
They were.
Put USC in the mix, and then rank the SEC. Pretend USC just kind of came into the SEC, and then rank the jobs in the SEC. Was it third? Or is it 4th?
Yeah. So see, here's the thing: if you put USC in the SEC, it's a big time job. But right now, it's not in the SEC, and so it's making like 1/5 of the money of Mississippi State on this new contract.
What is it comparable to though? Like.
Without being in the SEC?
Is it a better job than Ole Miss? Or
if it's in the SEC,
South
yes.
Carolina?
If Southern Cal is in the SEC, yeah, it's a better job than Ole Miss. If Southern Cal's not in the SEC, no, it's not a better job than Ole Miss.
There's no guarantee that conference is even a thing in 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the 15 of the 16 teams in the newfangled SEC are better jobs than USC today. And yes, I will absolutely die on that.
I know. Yeah.
I will. You can put me out there, and I'll die on that hill.
I don't disagree with you.
The only one that's not a better job is Vanderbilt. That's it. The other ones, better jobs. Mississippi State, Arkansas, South Carolina, Kentucky. I don't care. Pick the ones that you think suck. They're all better than USC today because there's more money. There's more guaranteed stuff. Like when Ole Miss puts out this thing today about, hey, we're going to do this expansion of the Manning Center. We're going to do all this stuff. Well, that takes money, and Ole Miss has that money coming in. USC does not have that money coming in.
Crazy. Never in a million years.
Now, if USC gets into the SEC, different ball game. Totally different.
Yeah.
Night and day. Because all of a sudden they become the second or third best job in the country.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I thought. I thought they were third if they were in the SEC, and they were in the bottom if they're not in the SEC.
Yeah, agreed.
So he's not just going to bolt for – and
no, I mean, he's not. I mean, the whole thing about where's Lane Kiffin going to go, I mean, look, if Alabama opened and they offered him the job, of course he'd take the job. He'd be an idiot not to take the job. Would he go to Florida? Probably, but that job's not open. Would he go to Georgia? Sure. where's he going? I mean, where's he going that those people are jumping up and down to hire him today? Alabama's not. If Nick Saban passed away tonight, Alabama's not hiring Lane Kiffin. They're not.
Neal just reported Saban's got a heart condition. He's dying.
And that's the other part about Saban is everybody keeps doing this. The guy might coach 6 more years. There's no sign of him slowing down at all.
What kind of demo program they got at those schools? That's the other thing. What are the coaches driving?
That is a great question. It's the question that is on everyone's mind. All right, buddy. Thanks.
Later.
Later, Corey. Halftime 14-7 Washington, I believe.
Oh, is that right?
I think that's right. 14-10, 14-7, 14-10, something. They went ahead right before the half. They scored another touchdown.
Kind of get on where's Matt Corral going to end up, watch.
We there yet?
Giants start getting in that conversation, don't they?
Is this the year they give up on Jones?
Yeah, this is the Trubisky Bears year.
They're just so bad everywhere.
Yeah, it's not all his fault.
8 of 11 for 65 at the half.
Yeah, just underneath. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, my name's Addison.
Hey, Addison.
I love the pod. My dad makes me watch it every time on the way to school almost every single day. I love it.
God bless him.
Well, thank you, Addison. That's very nice of you.
Well, have you guys heard about the Coach O and him trying to get in a fight with someone at the fish camp?
I did hear
How long
about
do y'all
that.
think he'll stay in the coach?
About 5 weeks,
Yeah,
maybe, depending on. Neal's really obsessed with next week's game against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so
wow.
so help me out here, Addison. When LSU goes to Mississippi State next weekend, who wins?
I hope Mississippi State.
Well, if that's the case, then he's in trouble right then because LSU after that they play Auburn at home. Who do you think wins that?
I'm gonna say Auburn.
Okay, then he's done at that point because after
Done at that point?
Yeah, done.
You think he's fired that week?
Yeah, because after that they
Wow.
go to Kentucky, they play Florida at home, they go to Ole Miss, they get an open date, and then everybody goes, well, that's the time to do it. Then they go to Alabama, then Arkansas goes there,
That's crazy.
and then they still have Texas A&M on the schedule.
Wow.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how much longer. I'm thinking the same thing y'all are. Probably about after that Auburn game.
Would really come full circle if Ole Miss just put the final nail in the coffin that week prior to the bye week.
Yeah, that story's too
It's
perfect,
too good?
so it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I do buy
Well-
I do buy the story about him getting heckled at the fishing camp,
think?
and oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
What else is going on, Addison? What you got planned for the weekend?
Nothing much. Probably just gonna watch the Ole Miss game, and I think that's about it. I'm pretty excited for that.
So Ole Miss doesn't play until 7. What games are you gonna watch before that?
I'm not sure yet. It just depends on what Dad has on the TV, I guess. We watch football every single Friday. I mean, every single Saturday and Sunday. Whatever's on, we just watch.
All right, Addison, I'm gonna get you a gift. Do you want a cap, or do you want a helmet, or do you want a football, or do you want some grilling tools?
Football would be great.
All right, you want the real football or the sort of Nerf? You want the red one or the brown one?
Let's do the brown one.
All right.
We have the brown one. Hold on. Neal's trying to locate it.
All right, Addison, here's what we got. We got a football coming your way. See it? And I got the koozie for your dad. So we'll put that together. I need
Thank you so much.
Oh no, thank you. I need you guys though to send me
In some way, get us
some
your
way,
address.
email, direct
DMs,
message,
doesn't
whatever,
really
or
matter.
something on the site. Send me an address, okay?
Okay, sounds great.
All right.
Love y'all's pod.
Thanks,
Have a great
Addison.
night.
Have a great weekend. By the way, that's brought to you by the College Corner. That's where you can get that stuff. Go to collegecornerstore.com, and you can get it. It's been a big night for the 4%.
It has had a lot of activity.
Feels like the 14%.
It's almost like they're more than 4. But
it's almost like the analytics tell us that it's more like 10.
Yeah, but 4 rolls off the tongue.
It does.
So we're just
and we've got a T-shirt that says 4.
Well, that's true. Yeah, every month I'm going to go 6, 7.2.
Yeah, and every time you make a new T-shirt, it costs you more money. So yeah, just
hope Lila isn't watching. Yes, sorry. You mean to do that?
I got it.
Oh, you can do it.
Jeffrey?
Yes. So my wife says, "quote Sorry if kids are listening. I want free shit too."
All right. I can make that happen. What would she like?
What would you like, sweetheart?
I'd just take a koozie.
She said she'd take a koozie. She's not trying to be difficult. She just wants something. By the way, we have the classic MPW digital koozies at the Wright family estate.
Would you like 200 more?
No, not really, because I think I've got.
All right, well, tell Aaliyah that a koozie from College Corner is headed her way.
How many did Chase order the first round? Because I remember thinking that was about 1,500 too many.
It was part of the ad pack. They said we'll just print a bunch of stuff, and when I got it, I mean, I think I've still got 3 huge cases of pint glasses.
I mean,
they're everywhere. They've moved with me like 6 times.
Like something like 50 of them.
Yes, they're everywhere. And now they're like the retro ones because we have logo changes and stuff, so it even looks whatever at the
Oh no, I've got both. I've got the one with me on it and the one without.
Hey, Jeffrey, I don't want to ruin the mood here, but
yeah, I heard you were trying to cut Daniel Jones already.
Well, but beyond that, Lila is not particularly happy with you. She called earlier in the show. She said,
what I do this time?
She said you talk too much and that you're, what was the word?
Annoying.
Annoying.
Yeah.
She said you're annoying. So I mean,
I'm now going on 11 straight months of having the #1 radio show in Memphis. So I'll be okay with being annoying.
She's like 8.
So yeah. Lila's young.
Something tells me Lila might be repeating what Daddy is saying. And Daddy may not like me because Daddy doesn't like to hear things he doesn't like to hear, because we've now officially entered a world where people suck if you disagree with them. And it's like that's the world.
Do not make us choose between you and Lila, okay? We don't want to go there. We are.
Oh no,
okay.
I was not starting a official duel with Lila, but Lila's daddy's officially on the clock.
Okay. So I've got.
Let's start with LSU, because Chase, do you really not believe that if he loses 2 straight SEC games, you think
that seems a little quick, right? By a week or 2?
Dude, I think if they lose to Mississippi State, it's on the table.
Suddenly, the NCAA stuff becomes just too big to get over at that point.
Sure, if it's looming, don't you just go ahead and drop the internal bomb, or you go, we're going to punish ourselves with, especially now that the NCAA has come out and go, hey, we're going to give everybody 7 more scholarships.
Well, and on top of that, what we're seeing now is the only defense that schools have against agreeing to terrible contracts and terrible buyouts is calling penalties on yourself. And so we see Nebraska calling the internal investigation against Scott fraud, and then we see with LSU, like, they've got a ready-made system where there's just enough public information that is damning to Ed that all of a sudden, I mean, let's be real, like, there's no such thing as innocence on all sides, but like, they know what's going on, and I think they definitely have the folder that could easily get dropped, and then all of a sudden Ed Orgeron is owed nothing.
Oh, I completely agree with that. I mean, I don't have anything to prove that, but I absolutely agree with that.
I just think that when you
look, Saturday night could go weird for them, and that'd be the end of it. Because now that USC's made this easy, and look, LSU's got this built-in thing. They can bring Steve Ensminger out of retirement and let him be the lovable interim coach. It silences all the crap. The media is going to kiss him up. Nobody's ever going to go, hey, we should make Steve Ensminger the permanent coach. No one's going to do that.
No, I don't even think Steve Ensminger would do that.
He wouldn't want it. I'm not sure he'd do the interim thing. But you could bring someone like him in. He'd be the guy. You could bring him in.
I think you can pay Steve enough. You can take some of the money that you're going to save from paying Ed and you give it to Steve.
Sure, of course. And you let him do it, and it stops this whole story, and it lets you spend 2 months searching for a coach.
Now, I think that's the interesting aspect when we were, when you all were discussing Kiffin and the reality of what jobs are good jobs, because I found, did y'all see the Athletic story about the coaches that ranked the top jobs?
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily the ranking to me that was particularly interesting, because I think the rankings were pretty self-explanatory. They ranked the jobs they thought you could get the most players at, the highest. But I thought the comments were interesting. And the comment about the USC job at the very end, I thought was the most fascinating. And the comment was, why is everyone so hung up on what USC was versus what they are now? And essentially, it kept saying, like, there's a reason why now more than ever the best players are in the SEC. And it's the fact that, in the end, like, it's the easiest path to the NFL. I do think that's an interesting situation, though. If LSU comes open, I mean, we know Kiffin almost got hired there to save Orgeron the first time around. Is that an opportunity?
I mean, I think maybe, but frankly, look, as long as Nick Saban's in the West, are you taking a step back to try to take a step forward?
Well, but here's the one thing I will say about the LSU job, because this was actually the other thing that Mark and I discussed on the afternoon show. The last 3 coaches that have the LSU job have all won national titles, and one of which I think is legitimately a 100 IQ human being. We're now seeing what Les Miles is as an individual, and then Nick Saban is, what happens when the greatest coach becomes, the head coach of the greatest program or the best program. But I do think it's fascinating that most people ranked Georgia ahead of LSU. And perhaps that's because of people know, what could happen behind the scenes at LSU. But I think my argument would be, do I think Ed Orgeron could win a national title at Georgia? My answer is 100% no. Do I think Kirby could win a national title at LSU? My answer is yes, because I saw Ed Orgeron win one at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that. Ed has only a few schools that he could pull that off at.
Sure.
And that is a hell of a
well.
lot.
At the end of the day, though, Les Miles, who's not anything, I think we all agree Saban's going to win no matter where he is. Like, I think Saban could probably win at Illinois.
Yeah, but I think some people would say that Les Miles won with Saban's players.
I think they would, but at the same time, he did for a considerable period sustain relative success. Like, I think we can agree that Les Miles is nowhere near the coach that Nick Saban was, but he stayed within a game and a half.
And he was relatively successful at Oklahoma State.
Correct. In the end, like, the difference between being a game better as a head coach, like if you're one game above replacement at a job, you're an elite level coach. Like that is a remarkable standard. I think what Saban doesn't get enough credit for at LSU is Saban is the one that got them to get organized and get, vertically where it starts at the top. We got all the pieces in a row, and you had all the infighting stop, and you got, 2 coaches after that subsequently got to benefit from that. But to me, the LSU job is a fascinating job because while maybe there's turmoil and there could be disaster, the fact that Ed Orgeron could win a national title there, and I understand everyone wants to do the whole, well, he's a good fit and whatnot. Like, to me, it speaks more to the fact that you can get an average coach there that can put a run together.
Yeah. The floor is high, no doubt.
Correct.
I mean, it's not. We're a long way from Curley and those guys. I mean, it's not. I don't think you're going back there.
I just think the league is to a point, honestly, and with Texas and Oklahoma joining, I think it's more this way. It's all about. It's all.
Well,
about,
I think Neal's touching on the most fascinating question is how much has changed in 5 years.
Everything.
I think things are pretty even now. Like I don't.
Yeah.
If you have the wrong guy at, I don't know, fill in the blank, Auburn, you can fall off the table in a way that you couldn't before. If you have the right guy at Auburn, you can win super big. I mean,
to like what you've been talking about the future of the league. The future of the league is going to resemble the NFL more than it's going to resemble college football as we've known it. And what do we see in the NFL? Like the margins are very thin, and the difference between the worst job and the best job, like there's a gap, but it's not nearly what used to be. The difference between the Alabama job and the Vanderbilt job,
well,
if you will.
If I'm right, next week when LSU plays Mississippi State and Arkansas plays Texas A&M, I think and maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll write in 10 thoughts about how damn wrong I was. But if I'm right, you're going to see the difference between 3 and 7 in the West is minuscule.
Well, so this is my question. I think we all agree Alabama's head and shoulders above everyone else in the West. Agreed?
Sure. Yeah.
What do you think? What gap do you think is bigger? The gap between 1 and 2, so Alabama and whoever you think is the second best team in the West, or do you think the gap between 2 and 7 is bigger?
1 and 2 is bigger than 2 and 7.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much difference between 2 and 7.
And to me, like that's going to be a fascinating aspect because what we're seeing moving forward is, Chad Morris got fired 19 games in, and I'm not saying he didn't deserve to be fired because he obviously did, but we're starting to see the patience be very, very thin. And the margins are very, very thin. So we're going to get into this reality of, we're not going to let you build something over 4 or 5 years. And to be honest with you, I think it's pretty clear after year 2 or year 3 if you've got someone that can get it done. But we're going to see these super thin margins, and if you get on the wrong side of luck in one season, you might be done.
Oh, there's no doubt. Hey, man, thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
All right.
Well, Arkansas is a great example of that. Morris was a terrible fit.
And they found a good fit.
And Pittman appears to be a great fit.
College football's fit, period.
It is.
You have the best couple coaches and you have fit.
It's not fair to Matt. Matt Luke was a bad fit. Lane Kiffin's an awesome fit.
Yeah. Bad time, bad fit. Good time, good fit.
Yeah, look at the difference. I mean, they had Sam Pittman riding around with the Arkansas people, their film people, they're the season people.
Yeah.
The day of the game.
Yeah.
And he's talking about beers and stuff, and he's talking about tailgating, and you listen to it.
Being human.
You're like, that guy fits them. That is a fan base that wants to be loved, and he gives them that.
In a way that Brett Bielema wasn't a fit.
Yeah. He gives them that. And people go.
Brett was closer than Chad, but.
Yeah. I mean, I watched his pregame speech, and they've been so down for so long that it reminded me of, remember when Hugh Freeze first came to Ole Miss?
Yeah.
And the pregame speeches made people feel good.
Yeah.
If I'm an Arkansas fan and I'm watching that pregame speech before Texas, where at the very end of it he goes to the 2 troopers, and this is so hokey, but he looks at the troopers and he goes, "Hey, are the Texas fans here?" And the trooper goes, "Yes, sir." And he goes to the other one and goes, "Is the Texas team here?" "Yes, sir." "All their asses?" "Yes, sir." And then someone brings the lock in and goes, "Let's lock the." It's hokey as hell, but when you've been getting your ass kicked over and over and over, and this guy tells you his whole thing is, "Hey, y'all notice it was packed out there?" And they're like, "Yeah." All the players are like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Fans don't come if they don't believe."
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I can see how that works. I mean, it was like when Freeze first came to Ole Miss, they were so beaten down that message resonated. Now, does it resonate over a long period of time? I don't know. We'll see. Who knows what Hugh would have done had he not gotten into all the personal stuff?
Yeah, sure. He was a different dude through 12 and 13.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Hey, who do we have?
It's Brian.
Hey, Graham, what's up? I thought that might be you.
What's up, man? just got done laying some parlays out here in Biloxi, about to head back to the crib.
So talk to us about this mayonnaise situation.
Okay, look, man.
Because listen, I got to be honest. I'm concerned for your safety, and I'm worried. No, I'm serious. I'm worried about you. I don't want to read this story like in a CNN.com thing on some random Tuesday morning. I'm like, oh my God, is that my friend Grind?
No, man. Okay, look. So here's the thing. She's in culinary school, right?
Okay.
So she had to like make some type of sauce, for her, like for something like some type of tomato sauce. And she was like, "Well, since I had to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and make some spaghetti." I'm out at work and whatnot, while this is going on.
Okay.
So I go for a run. I get as soon as I get home, I just change clothes. Tell her, "Hey, I'm gonna go for a run right quick. I'll be back." I go for a run, shower up, and she's eating spaghetti and whatnot.
Okay, can I interrupt?
She's fixing her plate.
So when you say
because
I don't mean to interrupt at all because I don't want to interrupt the story, but I do, and I suspect there's some people in the thread that want the same thing. So when some people say spaghetti, they mean just literally the pasta, and yet when some people especially people I guess who live in the South, spaghetti means spaghetti, pasta, and meat sauce. So when you say spaghetti, can you specify what specifically you're referencing?
Like spaghetti with the meat sauce and the meat, all that noodles with the cheese, cheese on top.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
Go Traditional spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and first off, like this, like I'm gonna just like this is just something I'm just gonna squeeze in. Like 2 weeks ago, we didn't get into an argument, but like she had said that I don't know how it came up, but she said that spaghetti and fried fish went together, and I was like, no, it don't. I was like, I don't know why people do that, but it doesn't go together. And but that's just here and there. That's just another thing that had just caught my attention while this came up.
Yeah.
But so she's fixing her spaghetti, and so she's about to eat it. But she was like, "Do you have any sour cream or mayonnaise?" And I was like, "For what?" She was like, "For my spaghetti." I was like, "You mean ranch?" She was like, "No." And I was like, and so I looked, and so I took it, man. I took like 5 seconds. And I was like, so do you put mayonnaise or sour cream on your pizza? She was like, no, not on it, but I dip it. She was like, if I have either or, she was like, I don't do both. She said, I either dip it in the mayo or I either dip it in I dip my pizza in the sour cream. It's either one. She said, I don't do both.
No.
But then, she grabbed the sour cream. She said, oh, y'all got sour cream, so I won't do mayo. And so, she grabbed the sour cream and put it on her spaghetti. And I was like, I really, I said, I really only eat sour cream on Mexican food. I was like, that's the only thing I put sour cream on, really. And then she said, you need to try this. And then, along with putting sour cream on it, she put hot sauce on it. And that's when I just left.
Okay, wait.
No. Whoa. You think the hot sauce is worse than the sour cream?
If you put it along with it?
Okay, so I do know that some people put sour cream and hot sauce on chili, which is not far removed from bolognese sauce.
I don't know that I criticize people for hot sauce on almost anything. Like I'll be pretty lenient there for the most part.
Chase, mayonnaise on spaghetti.
I didn't say mayonnaise.
Okay, good, because we're gonna have to fight
and
right here.
That's the thing. Like if there was no sour cream, she said, oh, y'all got mayo too. She was like, but I do sour cream today.
Would she have preferred mayonnaise?
Like either one would have been fine.
How much mayonnaise?
All right, Wayback Rev has a pretty good question here. Now, Wayback.
Hold on.
Like, and I mean dollars. Like it's like more than Moe's would give you.
So like a big, big spoon.
So does she mix it in the spaghetti? Like will she take it and like mix it all up at that point?
No, it's just like she puts it on there. She puts like three generous dollops on there. She put some hot sauce on there.
3.
And then, start,
turn it up,
like scooping the spaghetti and eating it with the sour cream and hot sauce.
So Wayback Rev has a pretty good question here, and I think it's fair. Is she pregnant?
Nope.
Okay.
Her period just came on.
Okay.
And that's what I was like, is this something that just stuck while you was pregnant or something? And she was like, no. She was like, "No." She was like, "I just like it." She was like, "You need to try it." Like she was trying to get me to try it as I walked out. I was
No,
like,
no.
I'm here.
No.
I'm heading to Biloxi.
Yeah.
What kind of mayonnaise you prefer?
Does it matter?
I'm just curious.
I mean,
we doing Dukes? We
like
doing Blue Plate?
Like
what
are we doing? As long as it's some type of name brand, she's not really picky on the mayonnaise.
Okay.
Really, from what I think.
What about Miracle Whip?
Oh.
Yeah, I think that'll work with it too.
Okay.
So what are we going to do about this, Grime? We have a problem. I mean, we got to. I mean, I know you're focused on Auburn and Penn State, but this is. Listen, that game's going to get played and life's going to go on. This is a bigger issue, and we need to get right to the bottom of it. 3 generous dollops. I mean, I'm with Presley here when she says no, just no.
It's the amount. It's probably the amount you would put on a taco salad if you had a nice plate of taco salad. Like a nice plate of taco salad.
Well, let me tell you how many dollops of mayonnaise I would put on my taco salad.
Like game day nachos.
Yeah, let me tell you how many dollops of nachos, of mayonnaise that I would put on my nachos. Precisely none. And if you put a dollop on my nachos, I would no longer eat said nachos. I would just go hungry.
I mean, the thing that kind of freaked me out yesterday, man, like we were laying down and whatnot, and she just, she was just cuddling me. I had, I guess it was because I had just gotten showered or something. I don't know if it was the bottle wash I was using, but she was like, sometimes I wish I could just be in your skin. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, no, I was like, you don't mean that. I was like, you probably just in the moment. And, she was like, I don't like that. She said that a couple of days ago, and I was like, I don't know. Like that just kind of,
So here's the question, and I want you to think about your answer on this, okay? Are you ready?
I want to talk. Sometimes I just want to talk football. I get what the hardcores are coming at now.
Yeah, no, I know, but we need to handle this because we care about you as a person. So I want you to think about this answer. I want you to give this some real thought because I'm going to ask you a real life question.
Okay, man.
Do you want to be murdered in your sleep?
No.
Okay, then you got to get out of this.
Okay, look, I'm safe because she's going to Texas tomorrow.
Okay.
So you got some time.
Change your locks. Put her stuff neatly in a box.
Neatly,
very neatly. And you need to keep a very low profile for a little while.
Man. I mean, I don't think you understand how hard that'll be.
I mean, I don't think you understand how hard it's going to be to get murdered in your sleep. I mean, how attractive is she?
I mean, I'm gonna say this now. She's not the cutest woman I've ever been with. She's probably like top 5.
So how long has this been going on?
Man, it was on and off. Like I met her sometime like last year in August.
Okay.
And we were on and off, you know what I'm saying? But then I'd probably say around like January after New Year's, me and her probably really started talking.
Is she saying
my question is, how do we know this is the strangest thing she puts mayonnaise on?
That's a good point.
Because if it hadn't been long enough, maybe there hasn't been a lot of other food where we go, oh, the spaghetti made sense compared to so and so.
It's a fair point. It really is.
I don't know, man. I might take Neal if I don't know, man. And then see everybody in the chat, talking about what
maybe she makes like homemade ice cream with mayonnaise or something. I don't know.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no.
Yeah. I mean, look, I get it, but
yeah. I mean, man, look, don't think that I'm tied down though. I don't want y'all to think that I'm tied down.
Well, you said it would be hard.
I
mean, listen, I love you. You know that, but I asked you, do you want to get murdered in your sleep? And you said no. And I said, then move on. You said you don't know how hard that will be, and I can't help but I'm conflicted as to what your feelings are.
I'm talking about from her standpoint, like just the things that she told me, and just the stuff that she says and stuff. Like just getting rid of her seems easier said than done.
Yeah. Do you have a pet rabbit?
Nope.
Okay, good. Because do you have a pet at all?
No.
Okay, that's good. Because that the pet would be in danger.
We've kept you for a while, so Auburn, Penn State. We'll give you that one, Grind. Before you go. What are we doing?
Man, I'm really loving. I honestly, bro, like I've watched that Penn State Wisconsin game like 5 times, and Wisconsin moved the ball steadily through the 20s on Penn State. They just had 3 red zone turnovers, which cost them, and so I feel like that's basically gonna be the game. Interesting thing that I had listened to was your guy's sister site BWI.Rivals. They had a guy for PFF on, just to evaluate, what he thought about the game and stuff. And basically, just to summarize, he basically said that, if any one player is capable of taking over a game, there's only one player, and that's Tank Bigsby. And he said that, basically he said he's worried about Penn State's left tackle because he's graded real low. And he says that, Derek Hall is looking real good and that he's coming on as an NFL prospect. And so all that was real interesting to me, just from a scout's point of view and stuff. But before I let y'all go, man, the reason why I missed y'all on Saturday, man, I was over there at y'all's sister site at FSU, the War Chant site. Oh my goodness, boy.
Can you? I didn't even see it, but I can only imagine.
Oh,
we were watching. We were doing our show as that game ended.
I was talking so much crap about the Jacksonville State quarterback, and then he let that last one rip, and there we go.
Man, just thank God y'all don't work for FSU, boy. They got some, that media got some on their hands.
You know what? There's a lot of talk in the kind of the college football coaching / underworld, agent underworld, that he's in trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that. And Chase, shout out to you, man. You got that Mississippi State game right. That game messed up my parlay last week. If it wasn't for them, I would have went up. I would have been sitting pretty.
I'm just gonna fade the ACC for the most part right now.
It's fair.
Hey, just gonna fade the whole damn conference.
Neal, the Arkansas Texas game was a beautiful, like you said, it was a beautiful uniform game. But what won't be this weekend is Mississippi State Memphis, man. And y'all boys have a good show tonight.
Oh, that will be a bad uniform game. Thank you, Grind.
Let her go.
I hadn't even thought about that. That will be a bad uniform game.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some chrome and some black and God knows what.
Texas Arkansas was a sneaky good uniform game because Texas is all white, is fantastic.
Yeah, as long as Arkansas didn't think stupid.
And good. Arkansas went with the classic red on the white. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good look. Arkansas will screw up that uniform. And you're like, what are you doing? You have a good base uniform. Just stick with it. They'll start adding different things to it.
Or the big hog.
Yeah. No, the kind of the Darren McFadden jersey is a good look. And their white on white's a good look.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. That's got the makings of a – Texas doesn't want that to be a rivalry, but –
it's going to be.
It's going to be, yeah.
That's going to get force-fed in.
Yeah, the SEC is going to make that happen.
14-13 Washington, 6:05 left in the third for anybody just kind of hanging out here.
Jones makes a play here and there. ULL's up 28-7 over Ohio. What was that line? 19? 20.
Yeah, 19 is how it
Yeah,
closed.
they're right there. People are talking about you and the ketchup on your pizza. It's just one pizza.
It is a Pizza Hut thin crust meat lovers, and it's complete nostalgia. I never said it was good, even.
No, I know you didn't.
It brings back childhood memories.
I would love to pile on, but I'm Team Chase here.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's one thing. That's it.
I get it.
And frankly, I haven't done that in a long time. I don't eat much pizza.
I don't either. Because my problem with pizza is that we always over-order, and then I love it.
So you don't need 3 days.
It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, so instead of having pizza one meal where it's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. I have pizza for breakfast and then lunch.
And that's a problem.
And then now you've destroyed your diet. Yeah, we do need to hear. I don't think we're going to hear from Brad ever again. I think that was a one-time.
Yeah,
it was a one-off.
He flew too close to the sun. It's a one-time thing.
Grind, the score is 28-7 ULL. Ohio's trying.
Tabasco over Cholula, but they serve different purposes. That's I don't really necessarily compare those.
Yeah, I like both.
I'm a Crystal hot sauce fan though, as far as that goes. So.
Yeah, Blake says the checkers on Kentucky's uniforms are hideous. I agree.
You can't be checkers when Tennessee is checkers.
Well, I just don't. Oh, what a throw! Did he get both feet in?
I don't know. He thinks so. Yeah, touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown. What a hell of a throw! See, he does things like that, and you're like, look at that. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, it's regular size Ben.
Hey, regular size Ben, what's up?
Man, I'm so glad to hear from Grind after that collar right before him. Boy, Grind came back and saved the day. Everybody was back happy.
Let's see.
Let me ask y'all something.
Yeah, he's in. Hey, what's up? Yeah, go ahead.
Y'all I haven't heard y'all mention anything about. Are y'all fans of comedians at all? Because we lost a great one over the last couple of days.
Norm Macdonald was great. I mean, some of his stuff on Saturday Night Live was epic.
Man, I love Norm. 100%. I hate to see him go. It was sad. And then a couple of days after, or a couple of days before that, I think it was on the 13th, I realized that Tupac has been gone for 25 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Man, that blows my damn mind.
They ever get to the bottom of that?
I mean, all the theories, but no, nothing past. Just what pop culture-wise you hear.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's been charged or convicted or anything like that. Are y'all aware that Channing Ward is on the sidelines again?
At New Albany. Right. I saw that. He posts some pictures every week.
He's a New Albany Bulldog.
That's right.
I'll tell you about Norm though. One thing about Norm is Brad from Iuka. That's the same kind of Norm stuff. If you think about it, what Brad was doing, if it was fake, which it obviously appeared to be.
Yeah, it was fake. Had to be fake.
That was some. I mean, he obviously been checking out Norm and maybe possibly be a fan.
It was funny for sure. Yeah. You
weren't
weren't
that kind of deadpan. Just stick with it, and he didn't have the punchline, but
Yeah. No, he was funny. It was well done. I mean, for just a little while, I played along, and then I realized no, there's no way.
So we've been through 2 weeks, and I've been pushing 2 guys all season and pretty much since last year, and those 2 were Snoop, who was on the Blues Clues deal, and then we got Tylen, who was all over the season this past week. So I'm batting pretty good.
Look, Snoop's going to be a factor every second half. I mean, they're not going to use him a ton early, but then he gets to kind of bang away and lean on the defense a little bit there after the break, and everybody tires out a little bit.
One other thing, as far as I know, Grind's a big Auburn fan, and we catch them on the back end of next month where we've got 5 in a row. I'm gonna hang up and listen, but I mean, just to bring it back to a little bit of football, I wondered if y'all would kind of go through those 5 games and then realizing that we end up with them on the back end where we might end up.
So
and,
go through the next
show. I'll hang up and listen.
All right, thanks. Go through the next 5 games. Well, I think Ole Miss is going to
win, loss, win.
Yeah, they're going to beat Tulane, lose to Alabama, beat Arkansas. I think the Arkansas game is going to be a good game. I think they're going to beat Tennessee handedly in Knoxville.
Yep.
And then I think Ole Miss is going to beat LSU.
And setting up what could be a hell of a day against Auburn.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is going to be 6-1 when they go to Auburn.
Yeah, I do too.
And of those, frankly, of the Arkansas, LSU, and Tennessee games, the one that I think is going to be close is Arkansas. because they're going to be able to control clock. You and I talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
They're going to
try to keep Corral off the field.
They're going to keep it on the ground, and Odom's going to have a good plan, and it's going to take a minute to figure it out, and it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
People that do the whole, that's going to be a 30-point win. No, it's not. If it is, then look out.
Yeah. It's going to be a grinded out, make you nervous. I think they end up winning, and it's a little more low scoring than everybody thinks, and they win the game 31-27 or something. And
frankly, between two programs that I sort of think are on the rise. I mean, I do. I think Arkansas is on a nice path.
Yeah.
How did it get to be 28-7?
I don't know. I haven't watched the second one.
I wouldn't either. I think Grind is moving on.
Joe Judge getting pissed off about something?
They didn't call that a penalty, did they? Oh, yeah, well, it kind of is. He got there early. All right, if you've got a call, now's the time. It's kind of like last call.
Yeah, the lights have gone on in the bar right now.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, for sure. It's been a day.
Yeah.
We will we'll make this the Oxford Exxon podcast tomorrow. Don't forget, there's a huge video. All right, we'll take one last call. This is last call. I said it would be last call, so we'll take one more. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Jake from Brandon.
Hey, Jake.
So Neal, I need some advice from you. I'm 26 and I have an unfortunate hairline situation.
Okay.
And so I need some advice from you on hats and styles just as I move forward.
Okay. What's your hair situation at this moment?
It's receding fast. Bald spot on the top, and I'm keeping the sides short until I'm about ready to fully commit though.
Yeah, my recommendation would be to fully commit first and foremost, because otherwise you're fighting a very losing, frustrating battle. What's your weight situation, if you don't mind me asking?
A little heavier than I'd like to be, but I've got a gym membership and I'm working on losing it.
Yeah, get the weight off.
Every 5 pounds, for everybody's reason, makes even more of a difference when you're
bald. Bald. Once you're bald, it's you can't hide the weight at all. 2 pounds shows up where a non-follically challenged guy takes 10. What's your suntan situation?
I mean, more like you than Chase. You know what I mean?
Get as much sun as you can. You don't want to get skin cancer, but you want to come as close as you can to that without getting the cancer.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then
the other thing is I've had a beard since I could grow one. Is it bald and beard? How are you feeling?
If you can stand the beard, like, don't let it go full scale beard where you look like you're trying to
be a lumberjack,
compensate for something. But yeah, if you can have some facial hair, I think that's a good thing. If it doesn't drive you crazy. For me, after about 3 days, I can't stand it. So if you can get a little past that, that would be recommended.
All right, and then I'll hang up and let y'all go. My last question is, what was the analysis from the Ruston-Oxford game?
Look, Oxford's a great school. It's a great program, but
ran into a Titan.
I mean, you don't play the Bearcats. I mean, you play the Bearcats, you lose. That's just the way it works. I mean, Bearcats win. That's what we do. It's not
firmly pounded.
It's not personal. Yeah, it's just what we do. We win, which means that when you play the Bearcats, you lose. Simple as that. It's unfortunate, but nothing to be ashamed of, certainly. I mean, Oxford.
It does not derail your season.
Yeah, I mean, Oxford plays in the Crosstown Classic this weekend against Lafayette, and they'll win, and they'll get a trophy, and somewhere in the fine print under the trophy, it'll say, but you didn't beat Ruston.
Yes.
And it'll be humbling, which is good. Good call to end on. Is that fair with my...
Oh, you're good. Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to be the guy that goes, oh, don't worry about it. So it's all good. It's not good. Losing your hair is not good. Nobody ever goes... There's never been a woman that, like, when she's 19 goes, you know what I want? I want a bald guy. So you got to understand that going in. And you got to work around it. I mean, have you ever, seriously, like if you ask a 19, 20-year-old girl, like, what do you want to describe to me the man that you want to marry? At no point is she going to go, well, he'll be bald. Nope.
And losing 10 pounds makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah, and 20 makes more. Yeah.
Words to live by.
Yeah, I'm just here to help.
Yeah.
So we'll put this up in podcast form tomorrow. There's the MPW Digital pregame show on YouTube. Please watch it, or at least pretend to watch it. Hit the buttons and all that stuff. And we'll be back with you on Saturday night after Ole Miss and Tulane. It's a 7 o'clock start, so hopefully we'll be with you around, 10:15, 10:30? And go from there.
Oh, yeah, that's the hope. Please, God.
Yeah. Cheer for the running game. So until next time, enjoy your weekend. If you're traveling to Oxford or wherever you might be traveling, please be safe, and we hope to talk to you soon. Good night.